West of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
This is Northside head football coach Felix Curry. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Hi, this is Ricky Smith, head basketball coach for the Northside Lady Bears. I dial 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Football and fall, what a great time of the year. It's also a great time to take advantage of York factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaeger's Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Get these red-hot buys at any of our 4 locations. Huge mums in 10-inch pots, only $8.99. Get instant savings of up to $50 on select Ego, Craftsman, and Stihl outdoor power equipment. And check out our great deals on chainsaws and blowers for fall. Order online now and pick up in-store or curbside anytime. Find more everyday low prices online at JaegersHardware.com.
October is Slingshot Month at Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith. We have a great selection of new Polaris Slingshots in stock, some with financing available as low as 1.99% for 36 months and 0 down payment with approved credit. Fall is the perfect time to get out and see the natural state in the new Slingshot from Wheeler Power Sports. Serving all over Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma. WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Bow season is underway, and Jelco Outdoors has all your archery and hunting equipment to help you bag that big buck. Select new compound bows by Bowtech, Elite, and Hoyt. Save $200 off. BearTech crossbow packages, now only $329.99. Save $200 off select Raven crossbows, clothing, boots, tree stands, saddle equipment, feeders, nut grub, and grunt calls. Jelco has it all for you. Good luck and safe hunting. And remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see mostly sunny skies. It'll be much cooler with highs in the upper 60s to mid 70s. Mostly clear tonight with lows in the mid to upper 40s. Sunny for Tuesday with highs in the mid 60s to mid 70s. Clear skies tomorrow night. Areas of frost in the north. Lows in the mid 30s to near 40. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Streaming on hitthatline.com.
You got to take it here. That's the perspective. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well, take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head.
on, let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback is vintage Matt Jones. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Good morning and welcome back to a football season for the Arkansas Razorbacks. We're ready to get this thing started again. Hope you had a great weekend. It's another beautiful sunny morning, into the afternoon later on as we get into halftime today on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, Matt Jones, my partner, Christian Johnston, and Colton Little will be producing the show today. Good morning, Matt. Happy game week again. Last week felt a little bit like, well, not quite like a Rushmore season or summer, because he did have a lot of, he had some really great games on Saturday. It's just we didn't have an Arkansas game to prepare for. So now we do. So happy game week.
Happy game week. Man, what a fun Saturday, Phil. I hope you enjoyed your weekend, and I'm excited for football. But you know what? And I know you are too. I'm excited that the ALCS and the NLCS is getting underway as well.
That's right. We got a couple games today. Dodgers with another shutout to start the NLCS. That's 33 straight innings that they have shut opponents out. And I'd say out of all the teams that are in the postseason, this would be the most surprising to do it, considering that they've struggled with starting pitching and health throughout the year. I'd imagine Cardinals fans just were a little bit nauseated watching Jack Flaherty dominate the way he did yesterday. Yeah, I'm rooting for the little guy. I'm rooting for Cleveland. A little bit difficult for someone who grew up in Pittsburgh to root for Cleveland, but I don't have anything against the Guardians, and they're the little guy in this. I mean, look at who you got. You got the Yankees, number one market in the United States. You got the Mets, number one market in the United States. You got the Dodgers, who we're used to them being here and have more money than anybody. And then there's Cleveland. So I know who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for the little guy here. How about you?
I got the, I got the Mets and the Yankees, the Subway Series, but I really don't know anything. I guess it would be like rooting for the Oklahoma City Thunder when they
That's
had,
right.
Yeah, Cleveland. I could see that. And then Mets, Dodgers, honestly, I think the Dodgers will beat the Mets just based on talent and their their ability. But the Mets are hot, so you kind of like, well, if they can find a way to get one here or there and get hot. And then Cleveland Yankees, I might be with you. I've never ever rooted for the Yankees in anything. But that's who I got. I got the Subway Series.
I rooted for the Yankees out of pure self-interest. Would have been
you root for talent, right?
Well, it would have been 2004 because I couldn't get tickets to the World Series in Boston because Fenway Park has like 22,000 fewer seats than Yankee Stadium. So I had tickets to the World Series at Yankee Stadium instead. So for that year, at least for the postseason, I became a Yankees fan. Felt weird. Felt like my skin was melting off, but I managed to get through it and ended up going to well, it was 2003 when Boone hit the walk-off home run. That's right. So I guess that's the only way that I'll ever root for the big market teams is when it comes to self-interest. How about our weekend of college football?
Oh,
Matt?
my goodness.
Oh, my gosh. No kidding. They like to say college football was drunk over the weekend, and this is just 66 seconds of what it sounded like.
Dylan Rosen to play the defensively for Illinois. Pump fake, Nussmeier goes back shoulder, touchdown. Kyron Lacy from 36 yards for a Nittany Lion win. Got it. Penn State in overtime. Simpson.
Smith, 3rd and 20. Howard, a lot of time coming off. Howard's going to run for it. Time runs out, and that'll do it. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it was one of those Saturdays. It's like, and I grew up more of an NFL fan, but if you watched football on Saturday and then Sunday, and I really do enjoy the NFL, college football was a little bit better this weekend, Matt. How about these finishes and these games? And my sense is that we may have the same kind of weekend come up on Saturday this week again.
Yeah, it was SEC bias there for a little bit, and now you have 3 teams. It's weird saying Oregon's in the Big Ten, but you get that what a victory. And honestly, man, if Oregon had to go to Columbus to play Ohio State, I think that Ohio State would have beat them. But then Penn State went out to California and beat the Trojans. I watched that game, and number 44 for Penn State, man, they couldn't. Talk about a corporate guy. He's like, yeah, all we did was trust the process. They're like, you just set the record. You just set the record for Penn State receptions in a single game. He's like, yeah, man, we had a good game plan. It was just cool and refreshing to see.
Tyler Warren. He also caught a touchdown after snapping the ball. Do you see the? Do you see? And I don't know the description of the play, what you'd call it, but an unbalanced line. You get your tight end snapping it, and then a double pass, and he ends up catching it into the end zone for a touchdown. It's one of the crazier plays I'd seen.
Yeah, he's like, we've had this play in for a couple weeks, and we were waiting for the right look, and they gave it to us. And just his answer to it was just like exactly like they should put that interview up and show all these other kids on how to act when they ask you questions. And then Pittsburgh 6-0, BYU 6-0, Iowa State 6-0. That's, I mean, those 3 teams. I don't think anybody thought those 3 teams would start out 6-0. That's pretty cool.
Pitt got a little bit lucky.
Yeah, they did.
They've had some trouble with. They're a decent team, but they don't have much of a kicking game. What was that? A 30-yard field goal to win it. That Pitt ends up winning by 2. So yeah, and later on we'll go through all the undefeated teams. Because there's a couple in the ACC, there's a couple in the Big 12, there's 3 of them in the Big 10, and then you have Texas, and we'll see if they're undefeated by the time the Georgia game is over. So one of the things about the undefeated teams right now, Matt, when you look at the ACC, Miami and Pitt do not play each other. In the Big 12, BYU and Iowa State do not play each other. Indiana, Oregon, and Penn State, unbeaten in the Big 10, they do not play each other this year. So it's like, I mean, I'd be surprised, honestly, if all these teams make it to the end undefeated, but it's kind of right there out in front of you. Wouldn't have expected that to be the case. But with these big leagues, I mean, you get half the teams that play each other in the SEC. Not even half the teams play each other when it comes to the Big 10. Yeah, and a loss by Ohio State at Oregon, that doesn't knock him out of a college football championship, doesn't even knock him out of a Big Ten championship. There's a good chance you see that matchup again. I don't remember where the Big Ten championship game is played this year. Usually it's Indianapolis, but I've thought maybe they might. I think they may have moved not this one, but a future one to Vegas in order to include fan bases from the West Coast schools. So, man, just a really exciting day of college football. The things you heard there was Illinois' walk-off win over Purdue. That's one that if I'm an Illinois fan, I got to be a little nervous about because they had a big, big lead. Purdue is absolutely stunk, had to go to overtime for the win, but the Fighting Brett Bielema has come out with it anyway. You heard the Penn State field goal to win it in overtime coming from down 20-6 at halftime. Penn State is just the second Big Ten team to travel out west. Or actually, it's not even just a Big Ten team. It's the teams in the ACC and the Big Ten that have made the cross-country trips. The only teams that have won these games, I think USC. No, that wouldn't have been the case because that wouldn't have been a cross-country trip against LSU. That game was in Vegas. I think it's Cal beating Auburn. They had to travel a couple of time zones, and then Penn State going, and all the complaining that James Franklin did about not having the proper size runway in State College to handle the plane. They had to take a bus to Harrisburg. I think they had to fly to Pittsburgh from there, and all of that, and they end up with a really big win anyway. You heard LSU's walk-off win over Ole Miss. That was classic. Tennessee needing overtime to defeat the Florida Gators, and I'm still kind of wondering, why did Billy Napier not choose to go for 2? They initially looked like they were going to go for 2, force Tennessee to call a timeout, kick the extra point, go to overtime. I thought that had been an opportunity to just try, all right, 2 and we win. We don't get it. We lose. Let's go win a game.
If you're at home, you kick the point and you go to overtime. If you're on the road, you go for 2. I think that's kind of the general. Like, I don't know what they say, but that's kind of and it's all about a gut and a feel. But if you're at home, you're thinking, man, we got the crowd in it. We got all that. Let's keep it going. My thing is, if you're the team that's not as talented, let's go for 2, because the more plays you add to it gives us the less chance to win. So go for it. And then I look at Penn State's schedule, Phil. Wisconsin, Ohio State, Washington, Purdue, Minnesota, Maryland. They're going to win all those, but maybe one game. They're in. That win at USC was big. Let's say they lose to Ohio State. That's one loss. So they're going to, that's Penn State. Just they're in the playoff 12 as long as they show up and don't beat themselves. I like that Penn State quarterback too.
Yeah, Drew Aller had a really nice game. So, man, you get some great SEC games this weekend, do you not? This is going to be fun. Arkansas, LSU, second home game in a row that the Hogs welcome in a top 10 team at night. It's going to be a classic. Of course, you get Texas versus Georgia, Alabama versus Tennessee. Just great football games. All throughout the conference for the most part. And we want your opinions on this. And, of course, as we go throughout the day, we'll take your calls and your texts at 877-377-6963. And it's a pretty basic day on halftime today. We'll be doing 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett in about an hour. Mike Irwin stops by at 1:15. That'll be well after Sam Pittman's Monday press conference. So first thing at the top of the list you want to know about today, Taylen Green's health, whether he is available for practice, and whether Coach Pittman thinks he'll be ready to play against LSU on Saturday. I would say would that be the first question that gets asked, or do you think Sam just mentions it before any question gets asked as part of his opening statements?
Yeah, that's it. You want to know what is he? What is his percent right now? We have the best training staff in the world. These I mean, they're all $1 million athletes. So it's he's going to get the best treatment you can get, but how healthy is he? I don't know, Phil. I'm very interested in that.
Lots to get to on halftime today, which also includes a reminder about what's going on at Twin Peaks and Rogers. Monday Night Football tonight. You want to be over at Twin Peaks and Rogers to enjoy it. And today's National Dessert Day. You can end your ultimate meal with something sweet, like their crispy apple turnover, cinnamon toast crunch cheesecake, or simply a delicious Twin Peaks sundae. At the Lodge, there's always room for dessert, and of course they have 29-degree draft beer always flowing, made from scratch fan favorites and favorite sports blasting from every angle. Tonight, Monday Night Football, NLCS, ALCS at Twin Peaks and Rogers, where you get the ultimate game day experience, or you can get your favorites to go online at TwinPeaksRestaurant.com. More TVs, bigger screens, and scenic views. Always more to watch at Twin Peaks. Stay with us. Halftime back in just a moment.
McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What are you trying to be, an Irish R&B singer?
This is halftime. Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Brought to you by Bud Light, the world's favorite light beer.
Carrie, you're on Hog Reaction. What do you got for us tonight?
Hey, first of all, I'd like to say I was really impressed with the defense. I think at the end they kind of got gassed. They've been on the field too long. But my real question is this Bobby Petrino, Sam Pittman experience going to work?
Yeah, I'd have liked to seen us run the ball more.
Only on ESPN 95.3.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Remember the classic Massey Ferguson tractors, straightforward, dependable, tough as nails, and easy to run? It's those classic models that inspired the Massey Ferguson 2600H series, as durable and reliable as the classics, with up to 74 horsepower and more comfort so you can work harder. The Massey Ferguson 2600H series. It's everything you want and need in a tractor. See one at Bush Machine and Tractor Company or visit bushtractor.com to learn more.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911 in addition to AOG. Remember, if you smell gas, act fast. And always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Take my hand, child, come with me. It's to a castle I will take you. Where what's to be, they say, will be. Say, where should it go? God is the show that you will be mine. Take it outside.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, it's Arkansas LSU Saturday, 6 o'clock. Going to be another big one for both teams, and I think this ought to be a great game. Bet Saracen's got LSU favored -2.5. Hogs are +120 on the money line. The over-under on this Monday is 57.5 points. You know, this is the first pass-oriented team that Arkansas is playing in the SEC this year. LSU, and you pointed out, Nussmeier is more of a pocket passer, got really good accuracy and range with his throws. Very good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not a guy that's going to be able to get out on the run and create too much in that sense, but he doesn't have to very much because he has a clean pocket just about every time he throws. LSU has allowed 2 sacks this year.
Don't they have a
sacks?
Is it a left or a right tackle that's going to be a top 5 pick? LSU does.
Well, they've got tackles that have been there for a couple of years each. They're just good on both sides. I'm not sure which one.
Maybe
Will
both.
Campbell on the left side, Emory Jones Jr. on the right side. Maybe both.
Maybe both of them, but that's what I hear. Like when you're hearing teams talk about LSU, or you hear the talking hairdos on the premium channels. They say that LSU has one of the best offensive lines in the country.
190 dropbacks, 2 sacks, and they get after the quarterback too. LSU is first in the conference, 4th in the nation at both sacking the opposing quarterback and not allowing sacks. 21-2 are the numbers in terms of sacks for LSU and sacks against LSU. So think of all the pressure that Travis Williams was able to dial up against Tennessee, against an inexperienced quarterback in Nico Iamaleava and an offensive line that was more geared towards run blocking. And if you watched any of the Tennessee-Florida game, they had trouble throwing the ball against the Gators. That is a team. In fact, Tennessee, I think, is the only team in the league right now that has more rushing yards than passing yards. In this case, 73% of LSU's total offense comes in the pass game. And a lot of it is big plays. They had 12 plays of 15 yards or more against Ole Miss. So this will test 2 aspects of the Arkansas defense, Matt. The ability, maybe not just to get to the quarterback, but at least to make Nussmeier feel uncomfortable. And then your coverage is probably going to have to be the best that it's been all year because he usually has time to throw. And even though, they don't have Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Kyron Lacey gets open, has great speed. Aaron Anderson, a guy that's been around a couple of years, also a very good wide receiver, and Mason Taylor at tight end is a big matchup problem. So that's the way LSU moves the ball, Matt. And Arkansas, of course, we know is the other way around. So it's a matchup of 2 teams with different philosophies offensively, and I think LSU is a little better defensively than some people think.
Well, I don't know how much of this LSU Ole Miss game you watched. I watched pretty much all of it. What a tournament. They reminded me of the Ravens last year in the playoffs. I mean, Homie drops a post for a touchdown. It would have been a 70-yard touchdown. Then they get stopped on 4th down. Then they miss a field goal. I mean, you talk about it should have been 24-0 in the end of the first quarter, and they left it out there, and that's what happens. I mean, if you're nervous, if you're if the crowd or the atmosphere had something to do with it, but Ole Miss, man, they left a lot of points out there, and then it's just you can't help but chuckle because nobody likes Ole Miss. It's like y'all, nobody's pulling for Ole Miss. They're the anti-America's team. It's like nobody goes for Ole Miss.
Well, it's also funny too. I mean, they were kind of like already celebrating a berth in the college football playoff before they even played an SEC game, and now they're 1-2 in the SEC and staring at an off week, and they'll play a good defense against Oklahoma. Then they'll get the Razorbacks 3 weeks from now or 2 weeks from now. And then Georgia, this end up going to be it could be a very, well, this next 3-game stretch is where the season really is defined for Ole Miss. And really, I mean, look at the 3-game stretch ahead here for Arkansas, man. Got to go 2-1. Got to pick up a couple wins here. And I think you get a real good chance to win either of your 2 home games here, really. And this is where, it's like we were looking at the schedule when it came out. Like, gosh, I mean, your toughest matchups are at home. But based on the way they played against Tennessee at home, I would hope for the same kind of performance against LSU. Go on the road to Starkville, that's a win. That has to be a win. And then we'll see what happens with Ole Miss. By then, even if Taylor Green isn't able to play this Saturday, I would hope that the Bone Brews, given 3 weeks by Ole Miss, may be able to get on the field. But again, we'll find out about his availability, or at least where he stands in terms of availability, according to Sam Pittman, probably in about 37 minutes. Because first Sam will say hi. It's nice to get back and play, getting ready for LSU, and here's what's going on with Taylor Green. I also wonder if this is an opportunity to make LSU prepare for 2 quarterbacks, and they won't know who's playing until kickoff.
I'll tell you something though. I think you might be onto something. I think the Hogs are going to have to rush the ball over 40 times. We're going to have over 40 rushes, and I think LSU is going to try to throw it over 50 times. But that's going to be the secret sauce or the recipe is how are we able to run the ball? Can we run the ball against? And I like our running backs, man. I think if Taylon Green's healthy. You have, and that's a big if. And if I still don't think he's playing after what I saw from when I saw the injury, I said, uh-oh, so I hope he's able to get healthy and play, but you don't want to hurt him anymore. How is 80% of Taylon Green enough? But those running backs, Jaquindon Jackson and Russell, maybe even DeBinion, I mean, all of them need to have 10-plus touches.
I think you can move the ball on the ground against LSU. I really do. By the way, I'd misspoke on the number of pass attempts by LSU with a sack. 255 pass dropbacks, 2 sacks. And they average 42 pass attempts per game. 42 pass attempts per game. Better be ready in that secondary, and I guarantee you they're going to be ready. 877-377-6963 is our number for calls and texts. Cecil's here with us first today. Good morning, Cecil. Happy Monday. How are you?
Suey. Hey, I got big confidence in that team to win. And honestly, Phil, Matt, I mean, hey, and I ain't just saying this. No turnovers, just like I said, we'll win the games. We have a winnable out schedule. Bottom line, we got the hardest games at home, and we take care of the football. And I mean, we 2-1 in the conference, and all we got to do is just keep winning. I don't even. We'll have that Boo Trophy at home. We'll have it this year. And I can't wait for Texas. My God, I will be there. I cannot wait. I might camp out. I ain't never did that, but I might do it this time.
Are you starting to allow yourself to like dream? But Cecil, thank you, man. I was like, it's like Eddie called up before the season started and was just kind of going crazy about the Texas game. And I remember saying to him, it's like, hold on a moment. Texas right now, that's like 3 months away, 4 months away. I don't remember exactly when the call was. We're a little more than a month away, a month and 2 days from the Texas game. There's only 3 games between now and then. If Arkansas finds a way to win these next 3, and I would not put it out of the realm of possibility for that to happen. They find a way to win the next 3. That game against Texas may be, and I don't know what else is going on that weekend, but looking at the other games in the league, Georgia, Tennessee, Mizzou, South Carolina, LSU, Florida, that'll be the biggest game in the SEC, and maybe that's the one. Maybe that's the one where game day comes for the first time in whoever knows how long. But I think it may take 3-0 to get there, and that's doable. I think that's doable. 877-377-6963. See, JT wants me to stop about the 2-1 thing. He wants 3-0 mentally.
Well, obviously, we all want to win every game.
I think they have to. I think going 2-1 here, to me, sounds like it's something that's not, that's legitimate. You can win 2 of these next 3 games, but also, Matt, I think they can win the next 3. My thought about this team right now. Defensively, they're good enough to be in every game, but against high-powered offenses like LSU and Ole Miss, it feels like your offense is going to have to give a little bit more. Might still have to get into the 20s in these games, too.
I need video of Taylon Green walking on campus. That's what I need. I need some type of assurance because I can't get my hopes up. I can't get my hopes up because I see what you're saying, Phil, but we don't know if we have all our weapons. We don't know if we have all our bullets. And we need all of them. And it will be an opportunity for the backup quarterback to step up. But I'd feel a lot better, a lot more confident if Taylon Green's healthy and able to go.
You have to play this coyly if you're Sam Pittman, right? I mean, he's not. Wouldn't you be surprised? Like even if Green is hurt to where they're not going to have him practice today, and they don't think he'll be back to practice in 2-3 days or whatever. Do you play this coyly? I mean, this is your opportunity to force LSU into extra film. Getting ready for 2 quarterbacks.
You're not. They are different quarterbacks. You're exactly right. One of them's going to run more. The other one's going to try to keep his eyes downfield and throw the ball a little bit more and try to stay in the pocket. I just haven't seen enough of him. I thought he came in and I gave him an A+ for coming in that Tennessee game and the way he handled it, his response, just the way he went about it, his moxie was pretty good. But now you have all week to prepare. I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit more, but I'm sure the coaches will coach him up, and he's a talented kid. If you're up there, if you're in the quarterback room for the Razorbacks, you got talent, and I'm sure there's a couple things he does well, and so that's the thing. You kind of figure out what does he do well, and you have open dialogue, open communication with the quarterback and the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator, and you try to devise a game plan with some of his strengths, because you're right. His strengths are going to be a little bit different than Taylen Green's.
This Friday, Matt and I will be doing halftime live at Pinnacle Groves Senior Living in Rogers. This is at Northgate Road in Rogers. Not just senior living, it's where you can live your best life with no chores and all the fun. It's where luxury meets community spirit. You can discover everything from state-of-the-art fitness center to a heated indoor swimming pool. It's Rogers' favorite resort-style senior living community. It's Pinnacle Groves Senior Living. Matt and I are there for halftime live Friday from 11 to 2. It's located at 5522 West Northgate Road in Rogers, and we're really excited to meet everybody there. Number at halftime, 877-377-6963. More in just a moment.
The jerk store called. They're running out of you.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and we are live at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District. Jose, but what we got whipping up today, man?
Man, today's special, we have the French Toast Turkey Melt, kind of a special sandwich. It really didn't put us on the map, but it did put a star by our name.
Daily specials every day at the award-winning Lily's Sandwich Shop. And if you don't believe me, ask Lily.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. I'm buying them at the Bakery District today.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Call Jason Hill in Greenwood or Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
At Our Best Bank, we believe in the power of community. That's why we recognize, serve, and support communities of all kinds. From small towns to big cities, business startups to large companies, young families to seniors, and those with shared backgrounds and interests. We value your contributions and are proud to work alongside you because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank. We believe.
Missing or broken teeth? Sharp Smiles wants you to start chewing again with dental implants. Scared of the dentist? Sharp Smiles will help you overcome your fear. Big dental problems? Sharp Smiles Modern Dentistry and Implants is your answer to your dental needs and services, where your smile is top priority. Get the smile you have always wanted from the friendly faces at Sharp Smiles. 2600 Market Trace, Suite B, off Jenny Lind across from Harps. For more information, visit the website at sharpsmilesdds.com or call 648-9988.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
My, she looks so fly. And he's the only one that I've been dreaming of. She will be all mine. I want to tell her that I love her so. I threw her with every touch. I need to tell her she's the only one. All day. I gotta walk with you now. I gotta walk, stay drunk all the time. I said I tell you, I should be true.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I was going to bring up some NFL here, and the first thing I was going to bring up with the Cowboys and a happy 82nd birthday a day late for Jerry Jones. Would that be the worst present for an owner for a birthday?
To have your worst loss since you've owned it. This is his worst home loss since he's owned the team. I just heard that with Stephen A. Smith was the worst loss since he bought the team at home. Wow.
That's what he gets.
What for turning 82?
Just all the crap we've endured. That's what he gets. A nice, you know what? Pie.
You know, you go out and you get Zeke Elliott. Like, okay, like when has that ever worked in the history of football? And then it's like you could have drafted a running back in the 5th round these years, and you didn't get any better on defense. You know who spent the least amount of money on acquiring new talent in the offseason last year? It was the Dallas Cowboys.
And makes no sense for the highest valued franchise in the NFL. Right? I mean, you get the money. I don't know what their cap situation was. So much of it has to do with that.
Man, they got to the point, Phil, where they looked like when we all remember the couple years ago when Ole Miss came into Fayetteville and it was a cold game and we kind of punched them in the face and made them like it. And that's how the Cowboys look. I watched that. The Cowboys didn't want it anymore. Like they were getting hit and they're like, ooh, how much? It's like they're looking at do y'all make this a running clock?
And then Detroit was just punking them with all kinds of, they just ended up having a lot of fun until Hutchinson went down with that couple. It's a compound fracture. That just looked awful.
Man, yeah, you need him. You think Detroit and San Fran are the two best teams in the NFC? If I was to say that, I think those might be. I know last year they met in the NFC Championship game. Detroit had a lead on them at halftime, and San Fran came back. San Fran's kind of lost some of their talent, as far as Dre Greenlaw, Christian McCaffrey, some of their better players. And I think Christian McCaffrey last year could have very easily been the league MVP.
You're going to find out about the Lions this Sunday because they get the Vikings in Minneapolis. That ought to be a really good game, too. We got a couple callers on hold. Let's go to them. 877-377-6963. Juwan is with us here. Hey, Juwan, how you doing today?
Doing well this morning. Hey, Matt, don't forget about the Vikings in the NFC. They still haven't lost the game yet, brother.
No, you're right. You're right.
They're playing pretty good. But this LSU game coming up Saturday, I think to win it, we're going to have our offense play their best game of the season. LSU's offense really scares me just because of the moxie and the confidence of Garrett Nussmeier. I watched that whole game. There was never any panic in that kid when they were down. They got that ball the last drive to go take it into overtime. They went straight down the field. And then the overtime play call by Brian Kelly, who I think is the best coach in the Southeastern Conference. He just knows how to scheme it up. Garrett Nussmeier had the confidence on the very first play, look downfield, throw the walk-off touchdown. I really like that kid, and I hope that we can hold Kyron Lacey down, man, because Kyron Lacey's a beast out there. 5 catches, 110 yards. We're going to have to watch that dude. And like Phil said, Aaron Anderson being the speed guy, we're going to have to keep an eye on him too, because he had a low-key really good game against Mississippi. So we're going to need our defense to show up. We know they will. But we can't do what we did against Tennessee, which is get inside the red zone and come away with no points and 3. We need 7 this game right here.
Yeah, this
Emory
is one of those
Jones.
games, Juwan, this is one of those games where the yardage needs to lead to a requisite amount of points.
Going to have to score at least 30, don't you think? Like, this is one of those, we're going to maybe even more, but at least 30 to win.
Or every time we have the football, at least we need points. But thank you, fellas. Y'all have a good morning.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you, Juwan. Thank you. Fewest points LSU has scored in a game this year is 20. That was against Southern Cal. I'd be surprised if they're held to 20.
And that was the first game of the year. And he's right, Lacey. The thing about and to continue on to Juwan's point, Phil, the thing about LSU, and you brought this up, 72% of their plays are passes in plays. Dude, they got like 4 receivers that are really, really good. Like 4 Andrew Armstrongs out there. They got some talent, and so that's what makes it tough, because you can't just go double team somebody, because then they got other talent that they can get you there as well.
And the kind of quarterback that Nussmeier is, you blitz him.
Experience, right?
I feel like he knows where to throw, where the blitz is coming from. He could exploit that. It's a guy that's been around for 4 years, has been biding his time and waiting, and he's playing about as well as anybody else in the SEC right now.
You saw how Jackson Dart's not an NFL quarterback. I think we all see who the better quarterback was between those two guys.
Eduardo's here. Good morning, Eduardo. How was your weekend without Arkansas football? What do you do with yourself when Arkansas is not playing? Do you just work on the recipe?
I work on the recipe, sir, and boy, am I anticipating this game. You know, the Tigers of Baton Rouge had a good game. I got to give it to them. In the place where they say dreams die. I say this. We beat them down there before. We beat them up here before. And come Saturday night in the Hawk Pound, baby, we're going to beat them again. The last caller, I want to answer some of his questions. Now, we got a couple of offensive and defensive coordinators that know how to dial it up too, baby. And we're going to dial it up on the Tigers. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to shut the run down, because that's what we do best. And we're going to force them to be one-dimensional. And so we're going to do the same thing, the recipe we did against the Vols. We're going to welcome them in to the Hawk Pound, baby. And I'm getting ready, baby. Let me say this. We don't want sport in the USA, the Whoopik Suey, and we're going to start Halloween early. We're going to give them a big bang of it. Come Saturday night in the Hawk Pound, baby. Back in the day, Cleveland Browns, they had what was called the Dog Pound, where Benny Kosar. Well, welcome, baby. Where's LSU right now? Number 8, 9. Come on. Another one bites the dust after Saturday night in the Hall Pound, baby. Take you to the bank. I sent a little message to my friends Chris Dory and Peter Burns. Of course, Peter Burns is a big LSU fan. Well, there ain't no dancing in the Bayou Saturday, baby. Because, break up ADC. Shook them all night long. We're going to make the Tigers feel like the earth is quaking in a stadium. And so,
Man, Eddie, you got that Friday energy on a Monday, just like you did this last Friday. And I think I heard did I hear a Benny Kosar in there? An ABC? I think you meant AC/DC. That's the problem. Sometimes, Eduardo, and I get the same way. I get really fired up during an Arkansas baseball game or women's basketball game. The next thing I know, I'm giving wrong names and wrong band names because I just can't control myself at that point. I think that's what's going on here with you. And it's always great to hear from you today, Eduardo. Thank you for listening to our show. 877-377-6963. Does it matter if you shut down the LSU run game? That's
They're not
not
worried
really
about-
a part of their. That ain't part of their game very much.
They're a situational run team, Phil. They're a pass first team, and they will run it, and they have talent. You know, I thought their best running back. I think he tore his ACL this year against USC. But they have it's LSU, man. It's like what last year when we were talking about Arkansas playing Texas A&M baseball. It's Texas A&M baseball. They're good. Whoever their backup third baseman is, he's good. Same thing at LSU. Whoever the backup running back is, he's probably pretty good.
26 offensive touchdowns scored by LSU, 18 of them in the passing game. Yeah, I mean, you got to stop them with the run, but that's not how they're going to try to attack you. I feel like it'll be like Tennessee in reverse. Tennessee just kept running at you, even though you kept stopping them. I think LSU is just going to keep throwing it, even if you find a way to knock a few of those things down. So I think they really trust what they've got in Nussmeier and his set of receivers. Jerry and Harrison will take us up to the break. Hi, Jerry. Thanks for calling halftime. What's up?
Hey, thanks. I just got one question for you and Matt. What is the quarterback situation after Malachi?
That's a really good question, Jerry. I think it would be KJ Jackson. So in this case, Jackson, who's a left-handed true freshman, you saw him a little bit in the second half against UAPB. I would just assume that he's getting prepared a little differently this week than maybe he had been over the first 6 games.
Where's he from?
Oh, I don't remember.
From Mississippi?
I'll double check. I know he's not from Arkansas. I can't remember exactly where he's
Mississippi.
from. I'll tell you here in a moment. Mississippi, you remember this?
The unit.
KJ Jackson's from Montgomery, Alabama.
See, yeah, I was going to say the unit with the knowledge.
It's close enough to Mississippi.
Yeah, it's close.
It really is. So you talk about players that you're going to need a big game from. Jaheim Singletary, you need a big game from Jaheim Singletary. Jalen Braxton, if he's back, your cornerbacks are going to be tested in this game, really tested in this game.
And you know what? If number 5 is going to be on the field for Arkansas, you got to come on, got to catch the ball.
877-377-6963 if you want to get with us on halftime. Quick break, back to wrap up our first hour after this.
Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo!
This is halftime. The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit KevinHickeyLaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Oh no, what happened to your windshield?
I had an accident. I'm definitely going to have to get a new one.
You should call Mr. Auto Glass on Towson Avenue.
I have to be careful. I have all this technology in my windshield.
Technology?
Yes, things like adaptive cruise, rain sensing wipers, and lane assistant.
Well, the folks over at Mr. Auto Glass can definitely calibrate all of that for you. They are super friendly and fast. You should give them a call.
What's that number?
782-4441.
Okay, I'll give Mr. Auto Glass a call. 782-4441.
The Study Basketball Training has moved to the Hangout in Fort Smith. With basketball training classes from kindergarten through high school, there is a spot for your athlete. Depending on your skill set and training needs, the Study offers 3 class options: fundamentals, advanced, and 94 feet. You can also work on your explosiveness with Vertimax training or perfect your shot on the Dr. Dish machine. The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thestudyhoops.com for more details. Fitness, sports, and now the Study Basketball Training. Let's hang out.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Come back into halftime live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
16th. Arkansas 16th in the AP preseason top 25 basketball poll. Kansas, Alabama, UConn, Houston are the top 4. Iowa State, Gonzaga, Duke, Baylor, North Carolina, Arizona make out the rest of the top 10. Auburn, Tennessee, A&M are still ahead of Arkansas as far as SEC teams are concerned. That would make it 5 SEC teams ranked ahead of the Razorbacks in the first AP Writers College basketball poll. It just came out. I guess it came out like 10 minutes ago. So we are less than a month away from basketball. Sounds like they had good showings both in Hot Springs and Pine Bluff, part of the tip-off tour Saturday and Sunday. Saturday was at Bank OZK Arena in Hot Springs. Sunday was at the Pine Bluff Convention Center in PB. And, man, I just think John Calipari is doing a great job connecting with fans across the state, paying homage to basketball history involving the Razorbacks. U.S. Reed, Andrew Lang, Ken Biley, Chris Walker, Ernie Murray, Todd Day were all on hand in Pine Bluff. And get a load of this. I was reading about this morning. I heard Chuck bring it up on Chuck and Bo. After they were finished at Bank OZK Arena, Cal flew to Pittsburgh. Saturday night, got there late, was able to visit family. Sunday morning, spoke at a coach's clinic, and then was back in time for their charity event even before the basketball event in Pine Bluff. Look, there aren't any direct flights from anywhere in Arkansas to Pittsburgh, but I have a sense Cal might have found a way to get one. But that's a guy with an amazing amount of energy.
Him and Kurt Herbstreit.
That's right. Cal doesn't travel with a dog though. He doesn't have his mental support dog. I guess he doesn't need the emotional support dog.
Well,
that's what he's got basketball for.
Yeah, that's right, man. Are you not excited? I mean, I think fans across the state almost will believe it when it happens. We're ready. They're ready for to see Calipari in that red stomping up and down and doing his thing. And man, this home court advantage we have. I've said this as soon as he got hired. However long he's here, I bet he wins close to 90% of his home games. I mean, we have the best home court advantage in the country, and then you add the best coach one of the best coaches in the country. He is. He's one of the best.
Now you get your first exhibition Friday next week. The Kansas exhibition is next week Friday, sold out at Bud Walton Arena. And the thing, look, I mean, how the team plays and all of that and everything, but who's going to be available? Because Janelle Davis, Casimir Chavis, Adu Thiero, Melo Sanchez, and Jonas Adu either didn't practice or were just doing individual drills. So, I mean, they got plenty of time to heal up and be ready to go for the exhibition next Friday. And also, if they don't play in that, there's plenty of time to heal up and be ready for the first game of the regular season. But it does sound like, some of Cal's guys that came over from Adu from Tennessee, Thiero from Kentucky, Davis from Florida Atlantic, obviously. They may not. They haven't been practicing very much now, so just a little banged up, as he said. Hopefully, it doesn't continue into the month of November. We do move into our second hour of halftime, and Sam Pittman will be getting up and speaking to the media in about 4 minutes. Any updates that he gives about Taylen Green, we'll pass that on ASAP. Otherwise, you can get with us, 877-377-6963. Halftime is back right after this.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
It's time for the 17th annual Podo Balloon Fest, Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Tethered balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Podo Balloon Fest. It's time for the 17th annual Podo Balloon Fest, Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Tethered balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Podo Balloon Fest.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Award-winning barbecue is always at the Links at Chaffee Crossing. Whether it's ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken, they can satisfy any appetite. Enjoy daily food and drink specials while you watch the games on one of several TVs. The Links at Chaffee Crossing is here and always ready to serve you the best barbecue in the River Valley. The Links at Chaffee Crossing next to Deer Trails Golf Course. Come see us.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel Crick Hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The Crick Hopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel Crick Hopper.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see mostly sunny skies. It'll be much cooler with highs in the upper 60s to mid 70s. Mostly clear tonight with lows in the mid to upper 40s. Sunny for Tuesday with highs in the mid 60s to mid 70s. Clear skies tomorrow night. Areas of frost in the north. Lows in the mid 30s to near 40. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios.
On hitthatline.com. You got a team in here that would respect it. If I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the house. The dump.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head.
Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no mock at halftime.
For one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
The 2-1. Center field. The Dodgers cash in. That's in to score. Freeman lumbering home. He scores well. 2-0 LA. Max Muncy delivers with 2 gone in the first. The 1-0. Right center field. Carrying well. Off the line. Hits third and comes home. Otani's into second. Throw to the plate is not in time. It's a screamer of a double. And what a start for LA. That's only 3 hits in this game. 3 singles. Had a few walks. Not much of a threat. This one. Game 1, one-sided. 9-0. The Dodgers over the Mets. They've tied the Major League record. 33 consecutive scoreless innings in the postseason.
And keep in mind, like, none of the 33 innings comes from their Hall of Famer, from Clayton Kershaw. It started with Walker Buehler, who gave up, I think it was 5 runs in the second inning in the last game the Dodgers lost to the Padres. They shut him out the rest of the way. Shut him out after that. That was the 8 pitcher combined shutout, and then shut him out to close out the series. And then they get the shutout yesterday against a Mets team that they could put some runs up on you pretty quickly. 33 straight scoreless innings. And I would just imagine for Cardinals and Tigers fans, watching Jack Flaherty pitch as well as he did yesterday just had to tie you up in knots a little bit. Start of the season with Detroit, gets traded over. Detroit's out. Of course, they made it, I think, a little farther than they expected to. And now Flaherty right now is potentially the top starting pitcher for the Dodgers. So I saw Otani, 6 for 8 runners on base this postseason, 0 for 16 when the bases are empty. So get some men on base for him. You get the Dodgers and Mets, 3 o'clock on Fox. Yankees and Guardians in the ALCS Game 1 later on. Carlos Rodon, Alex Cobb are the starting pitching matchup. You know how, Matt, this Arkansas LSU game is a matchup of 2 teams that do things completely differently. Arkansas is so much a running team, LSU much more a passing team. Yankees and Guardians are also a matchup of much different ways of how you put a team together and how you try to score runs. Yankees are swing from the heels. We don't care if anybody's hitting under 200. Guardians put the ball in play. They hit and run. They platoon at numerous positions. Yankees pretty much stick with their guys. Should be a really fun series. And I'll be pulling for Cleveland because I'm going for the little guy here.
Man, that's baseball right there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's the tell of, I mean, what's their budget? What's their operating budget? You know, isn't the Yankees and Dodgers 2 of the best operating budgets in all of baseball?
Well, and it translates to two of the highest payrolls in all of baseball.
Well, you got
too.
Shohei Ohtani's the best player in baseball right now, huh? Am I missing something? Like probably like if you had
you could make a real case, yes.
And so that the Dodgers have the best player and then the best hitter in baseball. If it's not Shohei, then you look at Aaron Judge and then it's your boy that Giancarlo Stanton. Is he still playing?
He's one of the reasons that the Yankees even got as far as they are right now.
I was ready
with the series win.
I was ready to put him out to pasture last year. I was like, man, how are you putting him this much money and he's not doing a thing? And so, yeah, I mean, there's talent there, no question about it.
877-377-6963. I always love when the Yankees and Indians, well, Guardians, get together for postseason. Do you remember the 2007 Division Series? Famous because Jabba Chamberlain was swarmed by those little midges on the mound, and it totally threw him off to where the Yankees took the lead against him. He completely blew up. It was where the Guardians did. That was where he was pitching for the Yankees then. So these like midges. And I don't know if I've ever seen other midges before. Just kind of came off the lake, swarming all around him, and he couldn't get him off of him. It was one of the weirdest things you could see is the Yankees, I don't remember if it was their trainer, I think it was the trainer, walking out with a can of spray to get all those things off of him. And they still didn't leave Chamberlain alone. I can't think of New York and Cleveland without that. Charlie's here with us. Let's talk with Charlie. Charlie, you missed your, this is like the first time in 2 weeks you've called it your usual scheduled time. Glad to know everything's back in working order.
Phil, it is, but it isn't. I just got some energy today. It's some frustrating energy that I'm about to let out a little bit of it. And me and the C unit have talked about a little bit of it. I haven't got back with him yet, but I also want his take on this once I get done. But first, I'm going to start off with all the amazing things that happened this weekend. Football was amazing. College football on Saturday. All the games were great. I know you guys probably saw I don't know if y'all paid as much attention to the Oregon-Ohio State game as I did, but that was a heck of a game. Obviously, the LSU and Ole Miss game was great, and could have went either way. And I was wondering, though, Phil, you came in last week talking about. I think LSU, they're one of the best teams in the country, right? As far as they don't give up sacks, correct? Am I right on that?
Best in the country. They've allowed 2 sacks.
That's insane. So
none in 3 games.
That's a little concerning. It's not concerning because I believe in our secondary, but I don't think any secondary. You can't hold up forever, and I think the big thing is we got to find a way not to give up the big plays and try to hold them to 3, and we got to be ready to score some points this game. I mean, at the end of the day too. And then I just want to say this. Aiden Hutchinson, man, that was awful yesterday. It almost took the air out of the game, but the air was already out of the game because the Cowboys, there was only one team out there yesterday. The Cowboys did not play yesterday. They just had their helmets were out there. Everybody else was not there. Happy birthday, Jerry Jones. Look at, what you've created, buddy. And, the thing is, my thing with Jerry is, you want to be interviewed every time after every game. Well, then they start asking you tough questions, and then you want to be a total you-know-what towards the, reporters when they're just doing their freaking job, and then you want to be a butt about it. Well, you're the only owner that gets interviewed after every game, so I really don't feel sorry for him. I don't. And this is what he's created. And, I looked at the offensive line ratings from Pro Football Focus. Dallas's offensive line is ranked last right now, by the way, guys. As a whole, they're awful. They can't block anyone, they can't run the football, and they can't pass pro. So if you can't win at the line of scrimmage on offense or defense, how do you expect to win? Somehow they're 3-3, Phil. They had no business beating Pittsburgh last week. They got lucky.
No, they
there.
didn't. They really
had
didn't.
No business. Zero business. They just got lucky. It's as simple as that. I wish Pittsburgh would have absolutely demoralized them because this is what it's going to take. And I won't see you in its take on this. But you see the play calling from Detroit yesterday. I was rooting for Dan Skipper to score a touchdown. I wanted them to throw him a fade in the end zone. I was rooting for them to score 60. That's how frustrating I am right now as a fan. Now, as far as the Hogs go, at least I know they're going to go out there on Saturday. And I believe that with Sam Pittman, they're going to put up a fight, and we're going to have a chance to win this game.
Charlie.
Anyway,
Charlie.
y'all have a good one. Yeah.
Well, hold on, Charlie. Matt's got something for you.
So I get it. You're a Cowboy fan, and you're a little upset now. But let's try to find a solution. Who do you want to be their next coach? Is it Pete Carroll, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick? Would you like one of those guys to be the next head coach, or what kind of change would you make?
You know, Matt, I don't really know, bro. I think I've talked with this about C Unit too. Is
it may not matter. It may not matter who our coach is.
That's what I was gonna say. That's where I'm leaning towards, because I want the younger, more innovative guys that's kind of starting to. That's the way I am, Matt. And it's no disrespect to none of those guys you just mentioned, because I respect them and what they've done. I'm just looking at kind of the trend of the NFL.
What about
right now,
Cliff Kingsbury, the OC for the Washington Commanders?
I wouldn't be against it, but you know who I really want? That OC from Detroit yesterday that just laid 47 on us. I would love to have him as the head coach. But, I mean, I know I'm living in the moment and I'm frustrated, but, yeah, man, it's just tough right now. Y'all have a good one.
Charlie, this is the first time I've ever heard you this frustrated on your calls. Like, this is a different energy than you brought today. Almost sounded like he was starting to get into, like, Eddie.
Maybe Lane Kiffin's
start talking about the recipe.
I think Ty said Lane Kiffin's looking for a job.
He is?
Ty seems to think he's leaving Ole Miss. He's leaving Oxford. I don't think he's leaving Oxford, but he was pretty sure. Maybe he's Lane Kiffin, Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh.
That's got a nice sound to it, right?
The NFL worked out so well for him the last time he tried it.
Yeah, it's working out good for him in Ole Miss as well, too, isn't it?
That's true. Well, that's true.
Let's don't hit in spring because we're good enough. When a team gets physical with us, we'll be fine. We don't need a full pad tackle. It's like we're just going to walk through all the time.
Yeah, and they're only facing.
You better be physical if you're going to win in the SEC.
Look, I know Oklahoma. They might not be a great offensive team, but I think they'll hit you. I think they'll play physical with you. Arkansas will play physically. They get Georgia after that. That's three. They better come. They better heal up this week, right? As they're off this week.
They are off. They got a bye week. Yeah, you're right. Oklahoma will hit you, man. That's a stretch right there, Phil. You talk about us wanting to go 2-1, and you'd sign up for it right now. You think Ole Miss would sign up for 2-1 their next 3 games? Oh my! I think so. Oh my goodness!
I hope they're looking at 1. I hope they're looking at 0-3. I think that'd be fun. Wouldn't that be fun if it was Ole Miss that went from being the talk of national champions and the greatest team that Ole Miss has had since the '60s, and then they end up going to a 6-6 bowl game? That'd be kind of fun. BE wants Malzahn to the Cowboys. I can never really tell if BE is being sarcastic or he's being truthful on the text line.
Is KJ Jefferson healthy? I looked at the stats. I didn't see him play last week, so I didn't know if it was a healthy scratch or.
Said he got benched.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
I was wrong on that. I thought he would have success down there in that offense. I missed on that one.
877-377-6963. We got a break in a moment. Want to remind you about Andy's Frozen Custard with their Fort Smith location on Rogers Avenue, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive in Conway, JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. You already love Andy's Frozen Custard when you're looking to cool or satisfy your sweet tooth. But when you're getting ready for the big game on Saturday, don't leave empty-handed. Take home a pick 6 for you and your friends. Mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat at Andy's Frozen Custard, Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith, Conway, where they got 2 locations, East Oak Street and Dave Ward Drive, and JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. It's Andy's Frozen Custard. Walk up or drive through, always ready to serve you. We'll break, and we'll be back with 3 Up, 3 Down in just a moment on Halftime.
It'll be like this one time at band camp.
This is Halftime. Don't miss Arkansas game day before every Razorback football game. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The Dandy White Perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, every matchup, breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, and NBA to political props. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack, poke. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The Dandy White Perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, every matchup, breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, and NBA to political props. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack, poke. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Talon practiced. First was a walkthrough, which he would be practicing whether he was healthy or not, in that. But he's practiced each day. We're hopeful that he'll be ready to go. So I feel like he will, but we'll have to wait and see a little bit more. I probably know a little bit more about Tuesday, Wednesday, but we're hoping that he's ready to play, and we think he'll be able to.
Sam Pittman at today's press conference. So Sounds like he's practiced. Sounds like they're hoping he'll play.
What do you think out of his tone and his just the manner? Do you what would your gut tell you right now? Because to me, that almost made me lean towards he's going to play. Like just the sound of the way he was going. And I hope I'm wrong. You know, I hope because I don't think he's going to play. I hope he does play, but I hope he's healthy enough to play. But after hearing his voice right there, it does sound like he's going to be okay.
That is what I think. I think that he will play on Saturday based on just this one soundbite. But, hey, let's see what happens by Wednesday because that's the next time we'll get an update about it. That's also when the first availability report comes out. And I can't imagine he's not at least on the report, whether he plays or not.
You know, a question you would ask is his lateral movement, is this what it hurts, or is it his straight line movement? You know, what hurts the worst? Where's the bone pressure at? Can you wiggle at all? Can you run straight? You know, you kind of got to find out which. Would you answer those questions if you're a coach? And they, you know, I wouldn't answer those questions. You know, you wouldn't be truthful and say, oh yeah, you know, that's kind of what you want to know though.
Yeah, they say that you got to be truthful when it comes to the availability report, but when it comes to answering questions about what kind of movement is bothering him, I would probably. But I don't know what kind of answer I would give. I would just say yes and no.
It scares me because you brought up this other stat. LSU knows how to get to the quarterback. He's gonna get hit.
21 sacks, most in the SEC, fourth most in the nation. And by the way, SEC has announced Arkansas, Mississippi State will be an 11:45 kickoff on SEC Network next Saturday. So, man, usually I don't see kickoffs that are like a quarter to the top of the hour. That's a little bit different. So there you go. Now we got Dr. Charlie Liggett with us from River Valley Smile Center. It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
3, good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
We appreciate Dr. Charlie Liggett being here as well. He'll have 3 things up, 3 things down, as well will Matt Jones. And I'll start first. Here's my first up for today. You brought him up earlier, Matt. The tight end from Penn State University, Tyler Warren, tied the FBS record for catches by a tight end in their win over USC Saturday. 17 catches, 224 yards, including a play where he was the snapper, for crying out loud. It's kind of an amazing thing to think about there.
Phil, I think he's going to play on Sundays. I don't know that he's going to be a first-round pick, but when you look at him and see his skill set, there's a place that, like, you remember Dallas Clark from Iowa? That's kind of who same number, but that's kind of who he reminds me of.
Yeah, that is Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State. First down is in the same game. Lincoln Riley for the clock management on the last drive of the fourth quarter. You get a tie game with 1:27 left. USC has it at the Penn State 49. They run for a 2-yard loss. Don't call timeout. 48 seconds left. 6-yard completion made it 3rd and 6 at the Penn State 45. Still did not call timeout. Would have needed another 10 yards or so to at least have an opportunity to win it with a game-ending field goal, but never even called the timeout. In fact, it was Penn State that called the timeout with 14 seconds left, and then Miller Moss throws an interception. I didn't quite understand that. You know, he's an offensively minded coach. I would think you would try your absolute best to get to where you feel your kicker can kick you a field goal. He had 3 times. They took all 3 of their timeouts into overtime. It made no sense whatsoever to me, Matt.
When they let that 30 seconds or so fall off the clock, I didn't understand that either. That was. It's like, what do you do? I mean, that's football 101. You know what's going on right there?
What do you got for your first up and down, Matt?
Well, it's something I talked about earlier in the very first segment, but I'm excited. I know you are too. The ALCS with Cleveland and the Yankees, and the NLCS with the Mets and the Dodgers. And I don't know what it's called, Phil, but the only time I watch Major League Baseball is about right now. You know, I like to watch the Championship Series, and I like to watch the World Series. I don't really watch a lot of regular season baseball, but I don't know if there's, college football is pretty intense. Dude, playoff baseball is absolutely bananas. Man, it's such a fun sport. I love it. I love that the playoffs are here.
I've had so much. It's like you watch the shots of the stand sometimes, and you're seeing
it's like biting
50,000 people standing for a pitch. It's not even the ninth inning, and they're all standing in anticipation. It is fun. It's a lot of fun. I just wish my team would make it sometime.
It's like when Houston Nutt was over there biting on his fingernails. You know, you're like, hey. It's it is, man. It's awesome. And then my first down, which I think Christian is on board with this, and I think Charlie, the tuna, I think he's on board with this as well. The Dallas Cowboys celebrated a Jerry Jones birthday for the day after with their worst loss at home since he bought the team. I don't know what else to say. That's
such a bad loss. Jerry Jones is now repronouncing his name with Y's.
That's right, Jerry Jones.
Dr. Liggett, what you got first?
Okay, so I went to the baseball games against Oklahoma State, and this is my last chance to talk about baseball till February. So I'm going to.
No, it isn't. We'll do it next week too. We'll do it the week after. We'll still have World Series and all that. It's okay.
At least hog baseball. Anyways, man, the crowd at the game. There had to be 8,000 people there for practice.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. I mean,
Did you go Friday night?
I went Friday night, and then I went Saturday too.
Who stood out to you besides the obvious shortstop because we had Coach Van Horn. He said he's the best player on the team. I think we'd all agree.
Aloy.
Who else stood out to you?
So Gabe Gackle started the game. Actually, on Friday night, the whole pitching staff was just lights out. But Gabe Gackle started, and he looked like a Friday night guy. I think he struck out 3. Phil, I think he had 1 good morning, good afternoon, good night. Then Root came in, and he's the kid from East Carolina. I really like him. He doesn't throw quite as hard, lower 90s, but he's not afraid to throw in on righties, and he looked really good. Gage Wood looked really good. Another guy that I really like I think is going to be in our rotation is Beidle Sheets from Ohio State. He's working 97, 96, 97, got great command. But what was really fun was Jackson Wiggins' little brother, Carson. When he came in, he threw 98, 99, 99, 100. And then he broke one off at 85 to strike out Jason Jones.
I saw the slider that struck out Jones on Twitter. It's just
it's nasty.
Sick.
And then Dave said after the game, he said that on TrackMan that was actually over 101 on that fourth pitch. Anyway, they had like 18 strikeouts, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. It was pretty impressive. And then offensively, Iredale, number 10 at third baseman, he's going to be really solid for us.
But it also just had to be really fun to be at Baum with a bunch of people there that made it feel like it was a Friday night in like April.
Oh man, except for the hog pen, it was like an SEC game. I mean, there are that many people. But I'll tell you, Phil, who else I really am looking forward to this year is Thomas, number 4. He played left field this weekend, but man, he's got a lot of pop for a 9-hole hitter. Like he hit one that I think it was fair. They called it foul in the game. Then he hit one off the wall as well. But he's gonna be fun to watch. Saturday wasn't quite as good. The pitching wasn't quite on the same level. Neither was the offense. But it's still gonna be an entertaining team.
Well, they're always entertaining, but it just I don't know. There's something about the way Dave talked about him when we had him on Thursday. I think the pitching staff is deeper than it was last year, and probably deeper than I've seen it. But the guys they brought in from the portal. And the way that they're hitting right now, I just have a feeling this is a team that's going to be able to smack the ball around a little bit. Yeah. What's your first down?
First down is Tylee Kraft, North Carolina receiver, passed away from lung cancer. I think he's been battling it since 2022. But what I thought was kind of neat was there's a guy named J.J. Jones that plays for North Carolina that wore his actual jersey in the game. I thought that was pretty cool with his name on it and everything, and thought that was a pretty cool tribute to him.
Well, that is obviously a really sad story, it's already been a rough year for North Carolina. Now they deal with the death of one of their teammates. That's roughness of a completely different kind. All right, I'll go with my second up here. Second up goes to Steelers fans. Like, there is no fan base in the NFL that travels like a college football fan base, except for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Get a load of what this sounded like. In Vegas at the Roomba, The Raiders are backed up near their own goal line, and it sounded like the game was being played in Pittsburgh. That's an interception by Pittsburgh. And again, it's
wow.
I've been to games in Pittsburgh. That sounds like Pittsburgh right there, but it's not. And I don't think there's another city in the country that's any different from Pittsburgh than Vegas. So that, to me, big up to the Steelers fans. Big down, though, second down to Trayshawn Holden, the wide receiver for Oregon. Happened to be the biggest game of the year for Oregon. He spits on the Ohio State cornerback and gets ejected from the game. This has happened 3 times in college football this year. Do you really think that if look, they miss plenty of calls. I get it. But these officials can be good enough to see just a little bit of a tug on somebody's jersey and throw a flag because do you really think they're going to miss you spitting in somebody's face? It's pretty stupid. Big down for Trayshawn Holden. Matt, what you got for number 2?
Yes, sir. Dylan Gabriel, he put on a show, victory over Ohio State. He was 23 of 41, 341 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had 4 rushes for 32 yards and a touchdown. On the season, 153 out of 201. So he's 76%. Wow. 1,790 yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Phil, I think he is the leader in the clubhouse right now for the Heisman Trophy. Now, I know the running back from Boise State is doing his thing, but look at who he plays. You gotta look. There's no stressful games. They're not playing anybody they're not beating a single bowl team. You know, it's like look at this how weak this division is. So I think Dylan Gabriel's in there, and he's the leader right now. And when you look at their schedule, it's set up for Oregon to run the table.
Well, I also wondered, like Travis Hunter got hurt in this last weekend for Colorado, and I was starting to believe that he would win it, even if Colorado finished at 7-5, because of how much of an outlier
he's
he
the
is.
better
But
pro prospect, yeah.
If he's not playing, though, I mean, it's pretty rare that somebody doesn't play a full season and wins a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, you know, with Carson Beck kind of not doing his thing, and then with Quinn Ewers getting hurt a couple games. I mean, there's a lot of golf left, so to speak. You know, they're going to figure it out. It's going to come out in the fold. But I think Dylan Gabriel's, he's setting himself up to be Johnny Heisman. My second down is the Fugazis they call Ole Miss Rebels. I mean, when's the last time Fugazi Lane Kiffin's won a big game? Like, really? When you say you got all this talent, you leave 20-something points out there on the first quarter. You let LSU get into it. That's the thing. They were able to keep it close. Ole Miss was the better team. They just couldn't figure out how to get it going. It's the Ole Miss Fugazis from here on out.
All right, Dr. Liggett, what you got? Number 2.
Okay, so I want you guys to tell me what you thought about this. But if you watched the Oregon-Ohio State game, in the closing seconds of the game, Dan Lanning calls the timeout with 10 seconds left. Okay, and so what it looked like to me was he intentionally put a 12th man in. Ohio State runs a play, and then
the play doesn't count, but the seconds on the clock do.
Right, so it's like he traded the 5 yards for the penalty for the 4 seconds on the clock. Do you think that's what happened?
And it's only a 5-yard penalty. Is it an automatic first down, or is it just a 5-yard penalty?
5-yard penalty.
No
for
automatic
4 seconds.
first down.
That's a heady play.
That takes
you get your 12 guys out there. They might stop the play. So it's like, all right, you make a play and they don't score, but you get the 5-yard penalty out there. Maybe he did do that on purpose. It would be brilliant. You're right.
Yeah, if he did, that was pretty awesome.
Second down?
Second down, Aiden Hutchinson. Man, I hate to see anybody that good go down. I hate to see anybody go down, but seeing him, man, that tib fib, your shin bone, that video was rough. But on the good side, looks like full recovery will be expected. Already has surgery, and he still made the sack, too.
Third up for me, going with Dan Skipper for being the tallest wide receiver of all time. I don't know if he's ever taught how to run a route, though. Not like he really had to worry about it very much. Third down, Roger Goodell says he wouldn't be surprised to see a Super Bowl played internationally. Ty's been talking about this for a while, that he thinks this will happen. Sounds like it might. I don't like this idea at all. Move regular season games over. That's fine. The Super Bowl
It's
is
American
the
teams'
biggest
homes.
sporting event
That doesn't
in the
make
United
sense.
States.
I'm with
it should not be played anywhere except the United States.
This is America, right? They're all teams from America. Why would we play it somewhere else? That doesn't make any sense.
Inventing some weird stuff there, Matt. What you got for number 3?
I would like to see him play a game in Toronto, though. I think that would be a good market to play up there. I wonder what the CFL thinks and all that stuff. But I'd like, Toronto would be a good market. Let's see. My third up, and this is another thing we brought up: the Iowa State, BYU, the Cyclones, the Cougars, and the Panthers, all 6-0. Man, that's what do you say about that? I mean, that's not expected, but pretty cool. That's college football is awesome like that. And then my third down is kind of a double third down. One of them it's to South Carolina. Man, I thought they were playing hard. I'm pulling for my buddy Dow. And they just couldn't. Man, it would have been the first back-to-back loss, first back-to-back conference loss since 2007 if South Carolina would have been able to pull off the upset in Alabama. And then KJ Jefferson, you hate it for him. He might be done playing football for the rest of his life. I mean, that really, because he's not going to play on Sundays, and are you going to go play in the CFL? You're out of college eligibility. So you hate it for him, but maybe keep your head up. Bounce back. Maybe you'll get a nut. Maybe they'll call your number again.
Dr. Liggett, your third.
Third up, the Hogs, 3-0 last 3 years, following a bye. So we took out Mississippi State, Auburn, and Florida the last 3 years. So that hopefully will bode well for us this week.
In fairness, I think this is probably the best of the teams that you're playing after a bye in these last 3 years.
Yeah.
So that is something to take into account. But
you did have to go down to Florida, though.
3-0 after a bye.
What do you think about the fact that they are young kids and how emotional that game was against Ole Miss? Maybe they come out a little flat.
I know.
Yeah.
I think the best thing that could happen was LSU winning
a hard game. Yeah.
Yeah, an emotional game where they rush the field. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Third down.
I'm going to go with the cutting the baseball roster back to 32 that Dave Van Horn was talking about.
34 is the number.
34. Yeah, that's going to make it really tough. I mean, you barely even have enough people to scrimmage. So I think that'll be, and it's not just us. It's every Power 4 team, right? I mean,
You got any eligibility left, Dr. Liggett? Maybe you can get out there if they need an arm or two. I can do the same thing.
They don't want my arm.
You got to do the R.A. Dickey and go knuckleball at this age. Just float something over there.
Oh, who needs the ligament in the elbow anyway?
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, that's good stuff for 3 Up, 3 Down. 3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. Matt's a patient of Dr. Liggett. You can be too.
That's right. Me and Dr. Charlie, we've been homies for a little bit, and it's been cool getting to know them. And they have everything you need. And there's a reason they've won the BOB. Doctor, you're gonna have to tell me 8 years in a row y'all have won that award.
Yeah, Doc, what is it you guys do?
We focus on evidence-based dentistry, which relies on the most current research. The technology is what's really cool. My partner, Dr. Cole Johnson, he places implants using a cone beam CT and computer-guided placement. He also does sedation for general dentistry, which very few dentists do around here. It's really hard to find somebody who can put you to sleep to do regular dentistry. We use 3D printers and scanners and have a major focus on cosmetics, but we also do family dentistry with fillings, crowns, extractions, gum treatment, whitening, sleep apnea treatment, and really a whole lot more. Dr. Cabe, she's a Greenwood native, been working for us for a little over a year, and all 3 doctors, we're all huge Hog fans. We're all graduates or working on the continuum from the Coy Center in Seattle, which is a really high-level CE course with a focus on excellence in evidence-based dentistry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's River Valley Smile Center. Dr. Charlie Liggett, Dr. Cole Johnson, and Dr. Hannah Cabe. They'll take care of all your dental needs. You can visit rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706. Doc, give it a finish.
Come see us at River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Woo!
Go Hogs.
877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. Right back in a moment.
Download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is ultimately all about fun. So is the new Ultimate Riches Scratch-Off ticket. It's loaded with over $3 million in prizes of $100 or more, all the way up to the ultimate prize, $200,000. You could be the first to win it all. Try the Ultimate Riches Scratch-Off game new this October at local lottery retailers. Have fun. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Lowe's knows saving pros time and money means getting the job done easier. Right now, get up to 50% off select composite decking and railing. Plus, get an extra 5% off every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Card. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. 5% off or subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details.
This is halftime.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure to get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center, 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Baby, there's nobody but you. Charms to revel where the wind blows.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
There are 11 undefeated teams left in FBS football. Miami and Pitt in the ACC. BYU and Iowa State in the Big 12. Indiana, Oregon, and Penn State in the Big 10. In the group of 5, you got Army, Navy, and Liberty. We are in a world where Army and Navy very well could end the season undefeated. They both have to beat Notre Dame in order for that to happen. But when it comes to the American Conference, I think you very well are going to end up looking at Army-Navy in the championship game the week before the traditional Army-Navy game.
That'd be pretty cool.
And who said conference realignment was a bad thing in college sports? Sounds like it could be fun. Texas is also an undefeated team. They get Georgia on Saturday in the next game of the year. And the biggest fan of the Texas Longhorns ever to live inside the state of Arkansas has given us a call at 877-377-6963. Brian, we missed you last week.
Hey.
Can't imagine why you wouldn't have called.
What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
Right. I'm good. So let me ask you a couple questions. First question is, last week I read an article that the Texas athletic department has now raised over $1 billion. What do you think about that?
I think Texas is the largest school in the country. So, I mean, am I supposed to be impressed by that? They should have the most money in sports.
Yeah, but $1 billion is unheard of, and that means they're capable to buy any player in the country they want. That's pretty cool right there. So,
I mean, what am I supposed to react to here? What are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Do you know Craig Way has a show? Did you know that, Brian?
Who's that?
You don't even know who the voice of the Longhorns is?
Well, no, I watch ESPN here.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I guess you're
No, I
not the
don't.
biggest Texas fan I've ever heard of. You don't even know who the voice of the Longhorns is? I'm not a Longhorns fan, and I know who Craig Way is. I think there are a lot of Razorback fans in here who know who Craig Way is. Come on, Brian.
When I'm watching them on TV, not listening to them on the radio.
Okay, well, his name is Craig Way. He does baseball, basketball, and football, and he also hosts a show to where he could actually give you an opinion about Texas raising $1 billion.
Okay. Well, I'll check that out. Definitely. So, my next question is, did you watch watching the Mississippi State Georgia game? What do you think about Kirby Smart shoving Mississippi State quarterback?
Yeah, I saw that.
My question on that would be, what if Mississippi State quarterback would have came back and leveled Kirby Smart, shoved his ass to the ground or something? Would he have been fined, suspended, or whatever?
Probably so. Yeah, probably so. I mean, I saw the replay of this, and he knew who he was running towards, and he put his hands on an opposing player and gave him a noticeable push. You know, I mean, I don't know if it's at the same level as Woody Hayes punching a Clemson quarterback. I mean, he runs out of bounds, but it's not that far from it, to be honest. So, Brian, thanks for the call. I guess he's asking whether or not Kirby Smart should be suspended for the game against Texas this weekend. And I don't know. I mean, maybe this will test the SEC as far as that's concerned, because you can't put your hands on the opposing players. You're not even really supposed to put your hands on your own player in that case. If he shoved one of his own players, I think he'd be called out for that. I wonder about that. And it's not like the player ran into him and Kirby was pushing the player out of the way to help his own safety or to, save some ball boy's legs from getting cut underneath him. This was Kirby running to an official and the player was in his way and he shoved him out of the way. So absolutely, that's terrible. I mean, I wonder if that does warrant a single game suspension. Would it be for this weekend against Georgia? Probably not.
They call that in the Premier League, they call that a touchline ban, and 100% it warrants. It's a bad example set. It's he knows better. You're the head coach. You're held to a higher responsibility. 100%, Phil. It should be a touchline ban. He should be upstairs or at home, whatever. But he should not be coaching the next game.
And Craig Way has only been the voice of the Longhorns for going like on 25 years now. My goodness. 877-377-6963. Back in a moment. We'll wrap up our second hour of halftime.
His mama named him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay.
In the communities we serve, we know your energy is best spent on the things you enjoy. That's why we're helping you save your energy with natural gas. More efficient than other energy sources, save your energy for cheering on the Hogs. Be tailgate ready with your natural gas-powered outdoor grill. Enjoy fast, cozy comfort from your natural gas fireplace when ball games get chilly. At AOG, we know your Razorback pride runs deep. Ours does too. And so does our commitment to caring for the communities we serve with always on energy. Visit AOGC.com.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Got a few skeletons in your closet? Want to seal your past criminal charges? Need to clear up some current ones? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Fines and restitution add up. You need an attorney to help you navigate the justice system. But how do you pay for it all? At Mock Legal Solutions, we offer flat fees and payment plans so you can get back on track without selling a kidney. Now that's a monster of a deal. Call today for a free consultation. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
The American Patriot Promotions Gun Show is coming to Berryville Saturday, October 19th and Sunday, October 20th. On Saturday, doors are open from 9 a.m. to 5 and Sunday from 9 to 3. Tickets are just $10 per person, $8 for veterans, military, and police. Children 16 and under are free. American Patriot Promotions, providing the #1 gun shows in Arkansas. Check us out, AmericanPatriotPromotions.com for other events and details.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westart Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westart Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drain, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
If it gets you down, then I take it. If it gets you up, what I want let you down, so broken hearted. If it gets you down, then I want it.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Looks like both Rodney Hill and Jalen Braxton may be out for the Saturday's game against LSU. I feel like you're going to need all the help you can in the secondary, which has played well, I think. I've been a big fan of the safeties, TJ Metcalf, Jaden Johnson, Larry Worth, nickelback, Danico Slaughter's come up huge this year. Jaheim Singletary, Marquise Robinson, and Jalen Braxton. I think they're going to need to come up big this weekend against LSU with their ability to move the ball in the air and the shiftiness of the wide receivers. But, hey, at least it's not Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors. Last year they combined for 263 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Arkansas defense. And admittedly, what was a really entertaining and mostly well-played game, it happened to be the 4th consecutive Arkansas-LSU game decided by 3 points. So I would assume that this one will be just as close. Just as close. Hogs, by the way, 1-7 the last 8 years against LSU. And they're usually good games, unless LSU is about to win a national championship. I don't think 2019 was all that pretty. I think this one ought to be a tight one.
You know, you get Tennessee. Maybe Tennessee got found out a little bit, and maybe they're there's not. Is Texas the best team in the SEC? I guess the fact that they're undefeated, they're the best team. But I think your second group, your second level of SEC teams, I think is better than it has been with this transfer portal. Now, there's still some teams on the bottom half, but you saw South Carolina give Alabama everything they wanted, and Alabama clearly has the better players. Like, it wasn't, there's no question about it. South Carolina was fighting and playing hard. But yeah, it'll be a big one.
Yeah, there's a real bottom of the league right now in Auburn and Mississippi State. But outside of that, I mean, Florida, I think, has played a little bit better than some might have expected. Carolina, too. Kentucky still can't quite figure them out. You hear Stoops afterwards is complaining, Vandy is in a better place than we are with NIL. Is that the first thing you're supposed to blame a loss on? I don't know if that was the first thing he said, but it just isn't going to come out very good. We move into our third hour of halftime. Mike Irwin will join us from Pig Trail Nation. He was in, of course, on the Sam Pittman press conference. We'll get his thoughts on Arkansas, LSU, and the rest of college football in about 20 minutes. Otherwise, you can call us, 877-377-6963, and we are back right after this.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thill Bobber with the family. America's favorite floats by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands at Pradco in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see mostly sunny skies. It'll be much cooler with highs in the upper 60s to mid 70s. Mostly clear tonight with lows in the mid to upper 40s. Sunny for Tuesday with highs in the mid 60s to mid 70s. Clear skies tomorrow night. Areas of frost in the north. Lows in the mid 30s to near 40. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Smith, I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well, Matt Jones, man, take it to the house. And the dump.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no mock at halftime.
Even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back right after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's halftime on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Colton Little producing for this last hour. Open segment here if you want to get on. We'll have Mike Irwin in the next segment. Calls and texts at 877-377-6963. According to Matt from Hot Springs, Kirby Smart said he didn't see the Mississippi State player in the press conference. It's funny, too, like the things that our brain remembers versus reality in some cases. I read about that over the weekend. Your brain doesn't always remember everything that your eyes might have seen. His head was looking right at the kid as he's running towards the official. There's no way he didn't at least see somebody there. So I know. I mean, what is he supposed to say? Yeah, I shoved the kid on purpose. I apologize for that. I'll take any punishment that the SEC feels like offering up. First coach to say that will be the first coach to say that. But I'm sure there'll be a little bit more about this. And who knows, maybe even back at SEC headquarters, they're kicking around the idea of a suspension for Kirby Smart for the UMass game. That's when they'll do it.
Like the Jim Harbaugh rule.
That's right.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I thought Ole Miss's front seven was just about as good as any front seven I've seen. And really, Ole Miss left 20-something points in the first quarter out there, and everybody settled in. And their receiver, whoever their number one receiver is, OMG, man, that dude's a first-round draft pick.
Trey Harris?
I think so.
He got hurt. I don't know when
he got hurt.
Get back. Yeah. I know he got hurt. We'll see when he does make it back. Too many mistakes, though, like you'd mentioned, Matt, as far as drop passes, the interception. You just saw Arkansas play. Do you think that Tennessee was their cleanest game offensively? No turnovers. There were mistakes to be made. Penalties weren't all that big of an issue, except in spaces where you were down at the goal line, at the half-yard line, and you end up with a false start that pushed you back, and you got no points out of it. To me, I don't know if you can waste any possessions in this game against LSU, because I feel if you hold them under 30, you've done a really good job. It's just like getting to 30 for Arkansas seems to be the thing, because they're specializing right now in, getting to the high teens, the low 20s. Haven't scored more than 24 against an SEC team. Remember, Matt, who brought it up last week about this time. Arkansas last year scored more in their first 3 SEC games than this year. And I think they were facing better teams last season. This year, that one of the teams last year was LSU. I think they're a better defensive team than they were last year, based on the idea of getting to the quarterback. And that's where it's like think of some of the mistakes that came up in the A&M game and against Oklahoma State. They occurred because of the pass rush, because it was closing in on Taylor Green pretty quickly. That's where a lot of turnovers occur from. I feel like LSU, they may be able to force Arkansas into some mistakes just by creating some havoc in the backfield. And if it's not 100% for Taylor Green and his ability to get away from the rush, maybe there are some more mistakes to be made. But it feels to me, Matt, like Arkansas may have to play their best offensive game, like even better than they did against Oklahoma State.
Well, I think the offense that you're going to see is going to be similar to that Oklahoma State, where they're going to get it to their playmakers in space. So the defense is going to have to tackle well in space, and that's the thing. When you get these big receivers that LSU have, and they have a plethora of them, and they taught you gotta just stay on as a defense. You got to keep it in front of you is what I'm trying to say. You can't get. But you brought this stat up. They had 12 plays over 15 yards against Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. They got to be in the single digits, like 5. You can't give them big chunk plays. It really does change the field position. Defense is our D-backs are going to have to tackle, which to me, our D-backs have been some of the most impressive parts of this team, and I thought they tackled well against Oklahoma State. But that's going to be the key is how do you tackle these receivers when they get you one-on-one? Are you man enough? And then where's your buddy? Where is your buddy coming to help get him down? Because if they push you off, stiff arm you, kind of just brush you off, they can take it to the house. They got 3 receivers that can do that.
12 passing plays, 15 yards or more, 6 of them to Kyron Lacey. So you do have a sense of who their big play guy is, but it's not just Lacey. It's also Anderson. It's also Mason Taylor, and Josh Williams. Good catching it out of the backfield. So, you're not going to be facing a quarterback that's really, dangerous as far as getting out on the run. And
he's pretty accurate, though.
He's very accurate. I mean, he's like, to me, if you're looking at what a quarterback is, and maybe that's not the right way to put it, but in terms of pocket passer, sense of, touch on the ball, and an overall sense of the game, Nussmeier he very well may be the best pocket passer in the SEC. So you're facing someone who's accurate, who's been around that program going back to the last coach, and knows how to play the position. It's like you've played all these freshmen recently, right? I mean, look at who Arkansas has played recently.
He's the best quarterback we've played so far this year, right? Like, no question.
And most experienced outside of Bowman from Oklahoma State.
No question about it. He's the best quarterback we've played so far this year.
Auburn didn't have Auburn started a freshman quarterback until it was too late. They throw Peyton Thorne out there in the second half. A&M, Marcel Reed, and I thought Reed played fairly well. Tennessee, Nico Iamaleava, and I think Iamaleava may be a little bit overblown as a frat. I think there's a lot there. Don't get me wrong. It's just to expect, and true freshmen over the first month played really well, but it's tough to stay consistent like that.
They get a film on you. These D coordinators are pretty good, and that's why kind of in the NFL you keep thinking Jaden Daniels is going to come back down to reality a little bit, but he's still putting on a show.
Not yet.
Yeah, dude, his release, his timing, his ball placement, It definitely wasn't like that cold Saturday morning a couple years ago, but he is fun to watch. But that's the thing with these quarterbacks, these young quarterbacks, man, these they see what you like to do. They know what you're trying to get to. They know what what your hitting zone is, what your hot spots are. And then they try to take those away. I wonder what Travis Williams is going to do, Phil. Is he going to try to blitz the veteran quarterback, or is he going to rush three and really drop a lot back and swarm and tackle and keep everything in front of it? He's obviously going to mix it up, but you wonder kind of what is his game plan to get to the quarterback and stop that passing attack of LSU.
What do you think of the idea of using the same alignment, but every once in a while dialing up a blitz from a safety or from a nickel back? Because, they had that alignment against Tennessee to stop the run. Can you use that alignment and you meant it was 6 defensive backs, maybe end up playing 5 and blitz one of them? It just seems to me that it worked so well, but it's a completely different style. What I liked about it is that to me it just felt like Tennessee never knew where the pressure was coming from.
Yeah, are you going to go man or cover 3 if you're going to blitz a safety, and then you're leaving one of their big receivers one-on-one? So can we cover? It's always scary if they block it up and they're able to get one of those guys one-on-one.
And that's where your cornerbacks come in huge.
Where's 18 at?
Come in huge.
Is he healthy? Is
Braxton?
Is that Metcalf? Is that
TJ Metcalf? Yeah, safety.
Is he healthy? Because I'm expecting a big game from him this LSU game.
He'll be there. I don't think he was in on the injury report last week, so I'm in, or 2 weeks ago. I'll bet you he's there. I don't know if you're going to get like 3 turnovers from him, but you need a game.
Can it be as simple as that, Phil? That can we win the turnover battle against LSU? That's going to be one of the keys. If you were to say there's 5 keys to the game, one of them would be you got to win the turnover battle.
Now LSU, Nussmeier's thrown 6 interceptions. That's 1 per game. 64% completion rate, but 6 interceptions. There are 18 touchdowns there too, and I guess when you throw it 42 times a game. You may end up with a couple of extra interceptions.
It's like your boy Baker Mayfield. I was talking to one of my buddies, and it's like he has 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. I'm like, how awesome of a game where you can throw 3 interceptions and you're still up 20 points. There's no world that you can throw 3 interceptions and still just be crushing like that.
I guess it helps sometimes to play against certain teams.
That's right.
They get New Orleans and with their
I didn't know your boy was starting from South Carolina.
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's how when Spencer Rattler's on the other side.
That's one way to get it done. That's right. Halftime is brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, right next to Baum. Stadium Shop's got everything you need for Razorback football, basketball, baseball season, or any of the other sports on campus too. Looking for tailgating needs, game day, man cave or she shed decorations, or dorm room stuff? Get over to the Stadium Shop on Razorback right next to Baum. Tell them ESPN sent you. You can also call Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt at 479-STADIUM or shoponrazorback.com. Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation stops by halftime right after this break.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively.
Wound Wrap is your #1 resource for all things diabetes. It's now available on the Hit That Line podcast network.
What happens with insulin resistance?
When we see that insulin resistance, there's something there preventing that cell door to open to allow the blood sugar in. So that really is just breaking down and saying that our body is not using the insulin appropriately.
Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts and find it on hitthatline.com. Wound Wrap with Dr. Doug Friesen.
End-of-season savings are yours right now on Kubota hay equipment at Gray Brothers, including the new DM Series disc mowers, or try Kubota's DM Series trail mowers. And for the prettiest bale of hay on the market, try Kubota's VV Series round baler. With Gray Brothers' low pricing and great interest rates from Kubota, it's time for your new hay equipment. That's Gray Brothers equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure and get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center. 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics. Favorite Hog memory growing up, Cecil?
When we beat OU in the Orange Bowl in 1978, I was living in Allen Grove Projects, and it was a shutout at halftime, and I ran out of the house. I ran from one end of the projects to the other end screaming, "Go Hogs." I'll never forget that. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Celebrate your pastor at the Solid Rock this month. October is Pastor Appreciation Month, and to help you celebrate, the Solid Rock is giving you a $5 gift card to give to your pastor with any purchase of $50 or more. And while you're there, be sure to check out the wonderful assortment of items that would make great pastor appreciation gifts. Celebrate Pastor Appreciation Month at the Solid Rock, the store that honors Christ all year long, off South 74th near Sam's Club.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive, and financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With the never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you. Though I know that evening's empire is returned into sand, vanished from my hand, left me blindly here to stand, but still not sleeping. My weariness amazes me, I'm branded on my feet. I have no one to meet, and the ancient empty streets too dead for dreaming.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Did you guys see that Cam Rising is out with an injury, and Kyle Whittingham, the Utah coach, said that he's out indefinitely due to this injury. He's only played in 3 games. He could very well be eligible for an 8th college season if he gets another medical red shirt. Oh, this day and age of college football. Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation is with us right here. Mike, how you doing today? What's new?
Well, Sam Pittman's press conference been over about 30 minutes now, and of course everybody wanted to know about Taylon Green. He said he worked out all last week. Most of those workouts weren't like typical workouts because it was an off week, but he did say one of them was pretty much a routine full-speed type workout. I think he's not willing to say that he will play, but I think if he had had to spend all of last week sitting out and just rehabbing, even if he played, I remember a game in 2022 where KJ Jefferson played, but he didn't work out any that week, and it's not the same. So I think it looks pretty good in that respect. He didn't come out and say, yeah, he's playing, but, I mean, if he can work out last week, I think he should be able to play.
How about our running backs, Mike? Phil and I were talking. I think we're going to have to run it over 40 plus times. Are our running backs pretty healthy? How are they looking?
Hill's still out. Other than that, I mean, you know, you still got Braylon Russell. I mean, he's going to play more and more. Pittman again talked about that. He's going to become more and more of a factor, and especially the way he performed on that last drive where Arkansas scored and essentially won the game against Tennessee. So that's good. I think they're all right. I do agree they're going to have to run the ball a lot, but I still think they're going to have to throw it too. I watched that LSU Ole Miss game really closely. And for most of the game, I thought Ole Miss was better. I thought they were going to win, but they kept kind of blowing opportunities. But as we got further in and closer to the end of that game, I kind of switched, and I started realizing, you know what? LSU really is a better team. Their quarterback is just more mature, more stable. Their defense is a little more stable. They're not hot and cold as much. And that's going to be a tough game. It really is. Those guys are good defensively. They don't run the ball a lot, but they go empty sets, 5 wides a lot of times. They're going to put a lot of pressure on Arkansas's ability to cover all those receivers. But I do think it's good that we've had this Tennessee game where essentially T-Will spent that whole week preparing for that game by using the flexibility. You know, he's got those 2 linebacker/safety hybrid players, and he's really able to kind of create different looks and different fronts. And I think that what helped against Tennessee, I think will also help against LSU.
Pass protection is going to be the most important aspect for Arkansas in this game because LSU is first in the league and 4th in the nation in sacking the quarterback. I know it comes off the edge quite a bit. So, I mean, look, the offensive line got tested by Texas A&M, and A&M won that battle. Felt they got tested against Tennessee, and you could see where there was improvement in pass protection from your running backs and your tight ends that were out there too. With Taylon Green, I just can't assume he's going to be 100% at all. Pass protection would be huge no matter what in this game, but it does make me wonder how elusive Taylon can be 2 weeks after this injury.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we probably won't know till we see if he actually is full speed in the game. I think you all also have to consider the possibility that he could end up having to leave that game if he gets a hard blow to the leg or knee area. I think it's more likely that we would see Singleton because of that injury than not, even if Green starts. And the only thing I can say about that is that at least he's been in that situation now. I think it helps, you know, what he went through in the Tennessee game. But as far as trying to win that game without, you know, if he had to play a whole quarter or whatever, I don't know. It wouldn't look good. I just have a newfound respect for LSU after having watched that game. I do think that I think they could win this league. I'm not saying they will, but they're good enough to do that. And these next 2 weeks, both opponents are going to be very, very tough.
Hey, Mike, when I'm looking at the SEC, Texas is obviously number 1, but who is your number 2? Is it Georgia? Is it Alabama? Is it LSU? Even Tennessee? How would you put these? Or, you know, Texas 1. Who is your 2 and 3 in the SEC?
I'm just not sure that there is one. I mean, it's just because of NIL and every week we see something different. I mean, a lot of people were saying, well, Tennessee's really not as good as we thought because look how they struggled against Florida. I think you're overlooking the fact that Florida is not Florida from a year ago. They are much improved this year. I mean, Napier may end up hanging on to his job, and then there's Vanderbilt. You know, what if Vanderbilt still Texas has to play Vanderbilt. I don't think they'll beat them. But what if they pull that upset off? Then that throws everything into chaos. It's just hard to pick a 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Texas is in the driver's seat, but they may not be. They still have to. They got to come here. I think Arkansas will go all out to beat them. I think Vanderbilt's going to, give them trouble. And then they've got that A&M game at the end of the year. That's going to be a war. So, and then I didn't even mention A&M. I mean, they could end up winning this thing. They're in a good position right now.
Oh, I think A&M is in probably the best position in the league, truthfully. I mean, they don't have to play against Georgia. They don't get Alabama. Who knows if that means anything, playing Alabama, and their toughest game isn't until the very end against Texas. Now, they get LSU next week, Mississippi State.
They get them at home too, yeah.
That's right. I think A&M is definitely, like, if you were going to, right now, I mean, so Georgia and Texas, I think, are 1 and 2 or 2 and 1 in the league right now. I'd put A&M 3. I think A&M is the third most dangerous team in the league right now, and it's because of their defense.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, again, I would put LSU up there. I wouldn't before this weekend, but I was just so impressed with what they did and the way they came back in that game and the way they handled the situation at the end. Now, I don't know. That could be an emotional win that they can't get over coming up here, and then they'll be back to square one. The team you have to be scratching your head over now is Ole Miss, because they're in real. They spent the entire offseason talking about being a playoff team, even winning the SEC. They have the best portal class. They've got the best NIL situation. They're this, they're that. And now they've got 2 losses, 1 more, and they're done for in terms of their goals. And I'm not sure they won't have another loss. I mean, their quarterback is suddenly, he's shaky. You can see he doesn't have the confidence he had. Their defense is kind of good, and then it's not good. I would have not believed at this point they would already have 2 losses.
Mike, did you check out any of that Ohio State-Oregon game? And if you did, do you think both of those teams could compete with the Texas A&M?
Yeah, I think so. I think the days of the SEC, Alabama, Georgia, they go into the playoffs and one of them is going to win it. I think that's over. Again, there's just so much parity now because of NIL. You can't get everybody, and players aren't willing to wait. If you're offering, hey, we're offering you, but blah blah blah, but hold on, because we're offering this other guy, and they'll just go somewhere else where they can play. They don't just want money; they want to know that they can start in order to get to the NFL quicker. And so you may see players going to schools that they normally wouldn't go to, and I just don't think SEC's typical top-of-the-line SEC school can load up with talent the way they did it in the past. The playoff is going to be really interesting. To be honest with you, through a lot of those years, it was pretty boring. It was good if you're an SEC fan, but it was pretty predictable, pretty boring. I don't think it's going to be boring anymore.
Look, I mean, you've seen this happen in all the other sports. There's a reason why a draft happened in Major League Baseball and free agency occurred, and that was more because of players' rights and everything. But you had teams that were stockpiling talent for decades. That's a reason why the Yankees won all the World Series that they did. That's what Alabama and Georgia have done for the last few years. Clemson did it for a while. Stockpiling talent, and on the other side, it's like reminding these players too, look, your chance is going to come, and eventually it does come. But now these guys want the chance to play earlier. You can't stockpile talent the way that you used to. All that is good for college football. It's it's more opportunities for the players too. I think at the same time, look, I don't think you should be able to transfer as often as you want. I think 2 times makes sense. But I also don't like the idea of being able to just stockpile talent, because you've got the kind of brand logo that creates that sort of situation where the good keep getting better and the worst keep getting worse. And then you end up just with, just programs that fire coaches over and over again. And I just think the transfer portal, it's still foreign to people. You don't like it. To me, it doesn't mean that it's not good for college football to a point.
Well, when we first were faced with the reality of that a year or so ago, there were all kinds of predictions. Okay, it's over for everybody but the top 4 or 5 schools with the money, and that just turned out to be wrong. I don't think any of us foresaw what would happen. What you just described, it's actually turned out to be a good thing because it's brought more parity. I still think there's things they have to do to work on this. The whole business of just getting to a school and leaving after 1 year, or just, maybe getting 2 games into the season, say, no, I don't want a red shirt, and then I'm out of here. I think they've got to do something to deal with that. But it is not the disaster that I thought it was going to be.
Before I talk a little baseball with you about the World Series, I do want to get your Alabama at Tennessee and Georgia at Texas to go along with Arkansas and LSU. But give me a winner: Alabama at Tennessee and Georgia at Texas.
I think Tennessee will win. I think Texas will win.
I like it.
I could be wrong.
I like it. That's to both the home teams, Mike. That's what I would be doing. I would be going both the home teams as well right there, because Alabama, I mean, in Tennessee the same way. They're kind of struggling a little bit on offense, but it's who, what is their identity? It's like now you got to come up with something just a little bit more.
I think Tennessee kind of got hit in the mouth and they were stunned a little bit, and so it affected them for most of that game. But I was impressed with the way they came back in the end. They very easily could have lost that game, and then their problems would really mount. And I think they just put it together right at the end. I wouldn't count them out. I mean, their whole issue is their quarterback. When you got a freshman out there, you see the inconsistencies that he has. And then they've got this defense that's just hit or miss. I mean, they're great and then they're bad. And they've got to become more consistent. But Tennessee's not out of this thing. I mean, they could bounce back and suddenly look like a different team 2 or 3 weeks from now.
Let's close out on just more from Coach Pittman from the press conference. We brought up Taylon Green and that he's practiced, and they're hoping he'll play Saturday, but we'll have more information on Wednesday. What about Jalen Braxton? Anybody else in the secondary? Because that secondary is going to get tested in a way that they haven't been yet.
Yeah, he just said Braxton's out. That continues to be disappointing. I think they need him back, and he pretty much ruled him out. Like I said, Hill is out. They got Kudus back, and what's weird about that is there's all this speculation with the problems that they've had at right tackle that they might move him over there. But man, you're talking about a guy that hasn't even practiced. He stopped practicing in the preseason. I don't know that you come back and then you're automatically out there in a different position and playing a lot in a game like this. But who knows? I mean, he practiced last week, so I think he's definitely going to probably get out on the field. The question is, where do they put him?
All this college football and NFL that's going on right now, but a lot of folks who don't pay attention to baseball in the regular season are paying attention to the championship series and the World Series. Do you watch much baseball this time of the year, Mike?
I don't watch Major League Baseball, but I did go out to the Hog exhibition game on Saturday. I saw the game they lost, and then I left.
Like 5 innings, right?
Yeah, 2 5-inning games. Lost that first one 6-3. Had their regular lineup in there, but just had pitchers that Ben Bybee struggled. Will McIntyre struggled. They had a freshman pitcher that struggled. They each gave up home runs. But you couldn't ask for a better game on Friday night. I mean, my goodness, they one-hit those guys. The only run scored was an unearned run. I think they had 13 hits. Arkansas had 13 hits, won 8-1. Came back and won the last one 7-1. Again, had good pitching. And he used his backup people in the lineup in Game 3, including, I forgot the kid's name, but they got a true freshman shortstop that hit a 2-run homer. So you got some depth there. It's nice to know if you get anybody hurt, you're playing essentially your number 2 guys at every position out there, and you win the game 7-1.
It'll be the last time they get on the field for quite a while until practice starts in January. Mike, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you hopping on. Thanks a lot.
Okay. See you.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Irwin, Pig Trail Nation. Gives us some of his time every Monday here on Halftime. Getting out for any cold water bass fishing anytime soon? You're looking for a trophy brown on the mighty white? Got to have the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattlin' Rogue with you. That famous rolling action when you fish it extremely slow or fast in heavy current. The Rogue suspends, it's in the strike zone longer, and you'll catch more fish. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattlin' Rogue, available at learnnut.com and tackle stores everywhere. Home stretch of halftime. Join us at 877-377-6963. We are back right after this.
Lighten up, Francis. This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
You're listening to Halftime live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Award-winning barbecue is always at the Links at Chaffee Crossing. Whether it's ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken, they can satisfy any appetite. Enjoy daily food and drink specials while you watch the games on one of several TVs. The Links at Chaffee Crossing is here and always ready to serve you the best barbecue in the River Valley. The Links at Chaffee Crossing next to Deer Trails Golf Course. Come see us.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding, from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
things I remember. Simple pleasure. Books and blue jeans. It's my cards and
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Couldn't find the audio of it, but I do see a quote from Brian Kelly's Monday press conference about the LSU fans storming the field after their win against Ole Miss. It says, quote, "It is always a result of a positive thing because you win, but it's not comfortable. You're in a mass of people and move through a crowd of people, and you're worried that someone's about to get knocked down. You love the fact that you won the game, but it's not something you enjoy. It's unsettling." Sam Pittman looked like he enjoyed everybody being on the field after the win against Tennessee. I can understand, though, feeling unsettled about it. Everybody's streaming down towards you. Matt, were you ever part of field storming?
No, I never played in the Magnolia Bowl. We didn't get to have the field storming. When we beat LSU in Little Rock, that was pretty intense as far as.
I don't know how they kept them in the stands for that.
Well, half of them had already left. They'll tell you they hadn't.
That's a good point.
But they half of them. No, it was nothing like that. But I get what he's saying. My thing is, you're LSU and you're both ranked in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's to me, storming the field is when you haven't beat a team in 17 years and they're ranked in the top. There's got to be. You don't just storm the field to storm the field. What I'm trying to say. Like,
what do you think about Oregon? Oregon, they're both top 3, but it's the biggest win they've had over a ranked opponent. First time, I don't know if they'd ever played at Ohio State in a regular season game. That one seemed to make more sense than LSU fans storming.
Oregon, yeah, I had Ohio State in that one for the same reason I had LSU over Ole Miss, that Lane Kiffin, he's a Fugazi when it gets down to it, and Oregon is too. Oregon, they're very Fugazi-like when it gets to a big game, somebody that's going to punch you in the mouth, and I thought Ohio State would do that. But the X factor is Dylan Gabriel's a heck of a lot better than Jackson Dart.
And he's better than the 2 quarterbacks for Oklahoma.
I think he's the front runner for the Heisman. I think that's the biggest win you have going forward. They don't really play. They play Ohio. I think they play. They just played Ohio State, but they don't really play that tough. I mean, I think he's the front, especially if Travis Hunter's hurt. Now, if Colorado would have found a way to win 9 games and Travis Hunter's playing, yeah, he had a chance. But with Quinn Ewers missing a couple games, Carson Beck kind of not really, and then having an easier road up there, and he's the man. It's the Sam Hartman, Bo Nix, Cam Ward, like you're seeing in Miami. You're getting these quarterbacks that are in their 5th and 6th years, and unlike Cam Rising, they've been playing. They got a lot of tape. They've made a lot of plays, so you really don't confuse Dylan Gabriel that much.
See, Oregon is at Purdue this weekend. They got to travel to that game, so that might be a little tougher. Illinois goes to Eugene after that. Then it's at Ann Arbor and Michigan. Then it's Maryland, Wisconsin, and then Washington, which is the big rival game now.
Yeah, there's a couple games that you got to show up into, Phil, but they should be favored in every one of those games.
Did you see the video of this home run by Chris Chambliss on this day in 1976? This is one of the – speaking of field stormings, this is what it sounded like. Phil Rizzuto on the call. This is a walk-off homer by Chambliss to win the 1976 American League Championship Series over the Royals.
Ball is out of here. Holy cow, Chris Chambliss on one swing. The Yankees win the American League pennant. Unbelievable, what a finish.
It's crazy.
As dramatic a finish as you'd ever want to see. With all that delay, we told you Littell had to be a little upset.
You hear Rizzuto on the call there. What you don't get to see is when the ball clears the right field fence, the bullpen gate opened, and half of the New York Police Department came out to try to keep fans on the field, but by that time they were too late. Chambliss barely even made it to third base. He never even touched home plate. There were so many people storming the field. And here it was. A few days ago, I said they never stormed the field for baseball games. But that's one of the craziest ones I've ever seen. I think one of the other ones would be like when the Mets won the '69 World Series. I don't know how they ever even got on the field the next day or the next year. It was just kind of wild. Also, on this day in 1985, you Cardinal fans will remember this one.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game.
Whoever it was that put that video up there cut down the last part of the call by Buck there. He says, on a home run by the Wizard. We always get these great moments in October in baseball. The Chambliss one, that's just nuts. I mean, he was like trying to run through literally hundreds of people between second base and third base. By the time he turned third on the way home, he said, screw it. I'm not even going to try to touch home plate. You couldn't even see where home plate was located up at that point. And that's the thing. It's like, so you're supposed to touch home plate. Otherwise, the run doesn't count. Nobody runs on the field for the end of a football game before the game is actually over, or at least not mass amounts of people. But I do wonder, if Arkansas wins this game, is there going to be another field rushing? It'll be worth $500,000 this time if it happens. I mean, it's still a night game. It's still against a hated rival, more so than Tennessee. It's against a top 10 team. You've never had two top 10 teams at night games at Razorback Stadium in back-to-back home games. I don't know, Matt. It feels like it's almost ripe for another one if there's another dramatic win.
Can we just put in to like take one of their players, be like, hey, LSU guy that's worth $500,000, we're gonna pay, but you come to our side now. You're on our team for the rest of the year. I think that would work. We could use one of those DNs or one of those. Maybe they're tackle.
Swinson.
Yeah, maybe one of those. Yeah,
I'm going to take Swinson, the Jack linebacker who's sacked the quarterback 7 times.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah,
that's what
I
want.
Do that. Let's beat them, and then let's take him on our side.
I love your idea here too, Matt. It's like, all right, obviously it doesn't work to fine schools to keep fans off the field. It doesn't work. Maybe if one of your players of the team that rushes the field, you have to give one of your best players to the other team. Instead of $250,000, they get one of your players.
And you should only be fined for how many times you use it in the recruiting video, because it's like, oh, don't do it. Then every single recruiting video that comes out, that's what's in there.
They got about 3 years worth of the Texas field storming. We get another 3 years worth off the Tennessee field storming, but maybe there's another one coming up on this Saturday.
And I see some Oh, go ahead, Colton. Oh, I see some fan people talking about the Boise State running back as the Heisman front runner, and I get it. Hey, he's playing against UAPB every week. Let's give it to a player that's not playing against anybody that can tackle. He's not the Heisman. You don't get to win the Heisman Trophy if you go to Boise State and play that schedule. I'm sorry, he can't. That's not it. I
think it's going to be fascinating once the voting comes in, because he's
I'm not saying he's not talented
more per game ahead of number 2.
I'm not saying
it's just
that.
there may be a point just based on the statistics.
It's a drop off.
It is. There's no doubt about it. There's a drop off. There's no two ways about that. Absolutely.
It's like saying, okay, we're going to give the quarterback on a Division II team the champion or the Heisman. It's like it doesn't work. You don't get to go play that schedule and win the Heisman.
I do wonder though about like if there are more players that might be better or more deserving playing for bigger teams and bigger conferences that just didn't play enough games. You know, that's the thing about Travis Hunter. Like Hunter hurt if he misses 2 games. I just don't see that he'll get the votes for that. And if Jeanty, look, I'm not voting. I'm not saying whether or not he should win it or not. But if he's, I don't know, throw a number out there. If he's
Ron Dane, like 2,100 yards.
or 600 yards more than number 2, or if he's got 60 yards per game more than the second guy, I think a lot of people vote for him.
If Oregon doesn't lose a game, there's your Heisman Trophy winner. If they don't, it's all. I think it's on them. Now, it doesn't mean
quarterback on the best team, right?
That's kind of how it goes. It's because we've talked about this, Phil. I don't think Dylan Gabriel is going to lead an NFL franchise. Doesn't mean he's not on a roster and being a backup and being capable and competent and all that things. I don't, and I think Jeanty will probably actually have a better NFL career. He's a running back, whatever. As far as he's going to probably play a little bit more, especially next year. If you're Jeanty, Jeanty, Phil, the thing is, do you go to Ohio State next year? Do you go to Penn State? Do you go to the NFL, or do you stay at Boise with the NIL?
I think I'd read where he had basically said, I'm never transferring. I'm sticking here at Boise State. So I think he's going in the draft this year.
Probably.
I think that'll be it for him. Monday Night Football tonight. Bills, Jets. Buffalo favored by 1 on the BetSaracen app. Minus 120 on the money line. Over-under is 41 points. It's on your BetSaracen app. Perfect for this time of the year. Best month for sports. Baseball playoffs, college football regular season, finally getting conference teams playing each other. Middle of the NFL, NHL season has started, NBA preseason, WNBA championship. It's all right there on your BetSaracen app. Works on your Apple iPhone. Just download from the App Store. Android users go to Google Play. Any web browser works. BetSaracen.com. And we're back to wrap up the show right after this break.
Pain don't hurt. This is halftime.
Deer hunting in the comfort of an enclosed 6x6 Lazy Man fiberglass box blind. It's affordable at Jelco Outdoors. Lazy Man Fat Girl Blinds, built here in Fort Smith with your choice of 6-foot or 10-foot tower blind platforms, starting at $22.99.99. Box blinds are great for taking the kids, with plenty of room and out of the weather. Check out the deer blinds at Jelco Outdoors. Hunt longer in the comfort of a Lazy Man box blind. Sold locally at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief, one more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With the never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hole Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
It's time for the 17th annual Hodo Balloon Fest, Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Tethered balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Hodo Balloon Fest. It's time for the 17th annual Hodo Balloon Fest, Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Tethered balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Hodo Balloon Fest.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Into halftime live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Well, it has been an enjoyable return to the airwaves today. Lots of fun. I've enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to doing more of it tomorrow. Clay Henry joins us tomorrow. He'll be on his way to Colorado. Won't have Clay on Wednesday. We'll also have Alyssa Orange and Bill King. Get their views on the world of college football. I'm sure Alyssa will be either elated or bummed out based upon what happens with the Dodgers game today. And if you missed anything on halftime today, our conversation with Mike Irwin, 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett. It's on the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. And Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a few minutes to entertain you for the remainder of your afternoon and into the early evening, and then we'll do all this over again tomorrow here on Halftime from 11 to 2. Let's see on this.
Let's go baseball, and let's go Mets and Yankees.
You want the Subway Series, don't you?
You know, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's better than the El Trafico out in L.A. So it's better than the Magnolia Bowl. I mean, what's cooler than the Subway Series? You might see some Ninja Turtles.
Might see some giant rats.
Probably see, Splinter. You know, they're out there.
People playing guitars off the side of the trains.
You know, I was in New York years ago, and I saw that guitar person that walks around with no clothes on playing the guitar in downtown Manhattan.
Oh, isn't it named the Naked Cowboy?
There you go. We had
Get
the
a
cowboy
picture
hat.
with him?
No, you know, I'm not really big in touching people, and that definitely wasn't going to be touching that person.
Especially naked men. Come on, now.
Especially that one. Yeah.
Especially cowboys wearing just tighty whitey underwears and a hat. That's it. He should sing the national anthem at the first game of the Subway Series. Fun stuff today. We're back with you tomorrow for another edition of Halftime. For Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston, Colton Little, I'm Phil. Thanks for tuning in today. Now get up, get out, and get better.